Hello everyone and welcome to this week's not a Mithras adventure, because sadly Mr. Pickles is in bed with flu. He's not very well at all, so it was we decided to not play Mithras because everybody likes to play when everybody is there together. So we have jumped back over to Starfinder to play another Starfinder game, episode 2 of the campaign, which I quickly made up today, which is always good. Hopefully Mr. Pickles might be listening to us. If you are Mr. Pickles, then we all hope you get well soon.
Yes.
And he didn't know what paracetamol was.
Probably have a fancy name for it in America.
I said to him, you should be in bed drinking lots of fluid and having paracetamol to keep your temperature down. And he said, what's paracetamol?
Did you say it's paracetamol?
Is it spelt with a double E there?
I call it paracetamol.
Yes, I call it paracetamol.
Paracetamol. I just wondered whether or not, is paracetamol a UK brand name then?
Yeah, isn't it something?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I'll ask my wife. 1 second.
Yeah, ask your wife. Always ask your wife. Your wife knows everything. We'll just
wait on that piece of it.
We'll just wait around for.
It's known as acetaminophen in the USA.
Oh right.
The reason I was able to help you in the USA regarding paracetamol is because they know it under the alternative generic name of acetaminophen.
Oh, well, mercy me, I never knew that. But now when I'm next over there, I will know. Not that I ever go to.
Then we have a package of umacetaminophen.
The next time
I'm American, you got one of your heads.
Yeah, and then the next time I actually get a passport so I could actually travel abroad. I will definitely get one. Anyway, so we're going to play Starfinder, which, if you're not familiar with the game, is almost like Pathfinder set in deep space, hence Starfinder. And I've just realised I don't have my rule book out because I might need it. Got it. Oh, no, trapped. Yeah, I'll put it down there just in case. So we're going to carry on the adventure from last time. And just so you know, BuddyBot 4000, which is Mr. Pickles' character, he's going to be around with you guys, just so I can keep him with you. Just in case we decide to play again and he comes back in and somebody else is off. So he will be journeying with you, but he's not around to actually do anything. I'll probably deactivate him halfway through, or plug him in to be recharged somewhere. So before we go any further, I'm going to just allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and who they will be playing tonight. Just to let you know that BuddyBot 4000, normally played by Mr. Pickles, is an android envoy. He's a playful model, and he is a bit naive in his thinking. He has a rather modular voice, and he tends to be very good at sort of like the academic side of things, although he did have a couple of blasts with his laser pistol in the last adventure. So we'll go down there and we'll start off with Chugawugga. So Chugawugga, who are you and who are you playing tonight? Matthew.
Surprising. And I am going to be playing a character called Dave, who is a Yuzoki technomancer. Yuzokis are large humanoid rodents, typically 3 to 4 foot tall, which walk upright on their hind legs. As the technomancer, Dave has a deep understanding of the connections between magic and technology, which most other people don't see. It allows him to utilize the technology to empower and manipulate his magic, or to use his magic to augment, alter, and control technology.
Cool.
And I will pass on to Longshank CPG.
Hi guys, I'm Longshank CPG. Tonight I'm playing a character very kindly made up by Chugawugga for me because it was kind of all organised at last minute. He is a human operative by the name of Sam Starlance. He is sort of like specialising in sort of like stealth and like that sort of thing. He's going to be doing a lot of sneaking around. He's got sleight of hand, so you can do this sort of thing, like card tricks and that sort of thing. So we'll see what happens. And I'll pass it on to Medivac.
Why, thank you. Hello, I'm Medivac, and I'm playing Zatharius. He is a Cassithus, which is a 4-armed, grey-skinned humanoid. He's he hails from the Indari colony ship, which floats not too far away from where we are at the moment. He's a mercenary soldier, and he does favour dual hammers and a hunting rifle, although he can use one at a time, even with 4 arms, which is a shame. And he basically is the brawn. He's a strong character, so he's there to be to look after people and follow orders and help out. And with that, I shall pass on to our GM, Will.
I had a real... I did a lot of work on your race in between adventures, Zath, because I was really interested in the philosophy behind their race. Because in the last adventure, I read a whole load about it, and it's really interesting that they don't show their mouths.
No.
Yeah, because that didn't come across in the last adventure, actually, because I actually put you in a tavern so you could demonstrate it, and it didn't come out. I thought, so we've got a range of people, and the characters are currently on a station called Absalon Station, which you could see there. I'm just moving to the big map so everybody can see it. And Absalon Station is a part of the Pact Worlds, and so it used to be when Galarian used to be, and Galarian was a planet, and it disappeared, and Absalon Station reappeared in its place. It's not too sure what happened to Galarian, or what is happening to Absalon Station. All the divine deities and the technomancers of the world all still say that Galarian still exists. However, not on this plane. It exists somewhere else, but everybody is still safe on it, and it's a good job too, because that's where Pathfinder happens. Absalon Station has a star stone right in the middle, which is a beacon out in space, and this is why the Pact World is a magnet for a whole range of people to come and live there. Absalon Station itself ranges from very nice areas to very downright dangerous areas, and it was in the downright dangerous area that the party last week ventured down to try to find somebody who had brought in a whole load of insignias, and they had been brought out by they had been brought by the captain of the Starfinder Society, which the party are currently working for, and they are very sort of like philosophical. They're out to do good deeds, etc., etc. Anyway, the party last week, or last time we played, headed down into a rather run-down area of Absalon Station called Downlow, where they encountered a Vesk pawnbroker. They managed to get the insignias and also get a piece of some information about the person who had actually got these insignias, and they encountered this person who is actually called, I don't think you actually met her last time, but she's actually, or knew her name, she's actually been named now as Exigara Longtongue. And she was some kind of a ghoul. And the party went off, and in the end, they actually confronted her in the Vat Garden. They weren't able to actually interrogate her because they killed her and her mercenaries, but they were able to find a data pad, and that was taken back to the captain because it's thought they want to know where these insignias came from, because they were on a Starfinders Society ship once, and that was given back to Venture Captain Arvin, who the Starfinder is in the Law Spire complex on Absalon Station. Okay, so that's where we left last time we played this, and I'm not going to say, do you want to find anything else, guys? I'm just going to jump straight into it so we can get going, because we've only sort of like got tonight. We might not get through this adventure, and that's why I wanted to make sure that Buddy's with you, so we can work on it. Okay then, so basically you have been summoned. You have been summoned once again to go to meet up with Captain Arvin, Venture Captain Arvin, and you've been asked to sort of like meet up with him to actually. I actually had a picture of him that I was going to show you. You're actually going to meet up with him, and so he can actually give you your next lot of instructions about what you're going to do next. And however, once you go up to the Law Spire complex, and just when you get there, you're stood outside Captain Arvin's office, when you're informed that before you can go any further, it is a requirement for you to take a qualification. And just as you've been told this, and you think, what's this qualification? Captain Venture Captain Irvin sort of like calls you in and says, yes, do come in. We have a job for you guys. And you all file into his rather plush office and sit down ready to be talked to. And he looks you over, and Buddy is there with you, and he's just sort of like sat by himself. And Captain sort of like stands over you, and he says, we know that a lost Starfinder vessel, the Unbounded Wayfarer, the ship where the insignias came from, was discovered by undead creatures from the starship called the Endless Threnody. We've pulled some strings with our more reputable Exonians and contacts to get more information, but they've disavowed knowledge of the Endless Threnody entirely. This likely confirms our suspicions that this spaceship itself is connected to the Corpse Fleet, a group of Exonian separatists who refuse to work alongside the living. Luckily, we have the location of the Endless Threnody in drift, courtesy of that ghoul you tracked down. Apparently, its drift engine is incapacitated, so it's unable to escape the drift. We are happy to actually provide you with a ship, and you will be going off to actually encounter this and track down this spacecraft. Now, before we go any further with this, I have to remind you, have you all actually passed your space travel 101 certificate?
I don't think I have.
Oh.
What,
No,
what about this ship that you're going to put us on?
Well, you need to have passed the Space Travel 101, which is a simple course which provides a brief understanding of space and space travel before you are licensed to actually be in a spacecraft and actually fly it. I am assuming that none of you have actually taken the test then.
Well, I haven't. I worked a bit on this spacecraft. Just doing, well,
Yeah.
just keeping it going, to be honest with you,
and I have a brief understanding of piloting, but that's it. Nothing trained. But one doesn't need that. Is what one does.
Well, I can do a bit of flying, but I don't know if I've done this exam thingy.
Right, I think the best thing to do is to ensure that you've all passed this test, and then we can get you straight off planet and get you lined up with a suitable spacecraft ready for your next mission.
Is it multiple choice?
He taps on his data pad and he says, "Oh yes, there is a lesson starting straight away with the Android tutor #5678S9, codename Logic. I suggest you get down to conference room 574B and prepare yourself for the brief introduction to space travel, and hopefully you all pass. That's all I can say. Failure to do so will, of course, means that you will not be able to take up any role on the spacecraft. You will have to just be a how can I say it, a passenger. So good luck everyone, and hopefully we will meet the people who have passed successfully in the hangar in a few hours time. Okay, thank you, dismissed.
Can't be all that hard to pass a test.
Cool. Check your leg cap.
Thank you, Venture Captain.
So you head out of the room and you head off to the conference room, and you find that when you get there, it's one of these multi-layered lecture halls, and you sit on individual chairs, and it has one of those flip down tabletops that come down, and you flip it down and then it flicks up to make it almost like a computer, and so you can take notes. And the android is stood at the front. It's a female android, and you can see that across her chest it says #5678S9, but also over the top of it just says Logic. And she's sort of like just stood there. She looks almost like inanimated at the moment, as people are sort of like filing in. And then after a while she pauses, and you notice that the lights slowly dim, and she starts to speak to you all. Hello and welcome. This is the Space Travel 101 course, and you will be required at the end of this to answer 5 questions using the information provided. Hopefully, when looking at on your in your desk in front of you, you will see a small button that will allow you to actually whisper the answers straight to me. Can we all confirm that you have that information there? There's a button that says confirmed, if you can see it.
I'm looking
Yep.
for it. We might have to.
If you click on your tokens,
Yeah. No, I don't.
there should be a thing that says GM Whisper. You might have to activate your bar to make sure you can see it.
Oh,
What was it? A macro?
Yep.
And then, where's the GM bar thing?
Okay, you should be able to see it now.
Oh, yeah, GM Whisper.
In bar. Yes, got it.
Yep. Okay then.
sorry. Whereabouts? I can't see it.
So click on your character, your
Yep.
token, and there should be something that comes up. Mine comes up at the top left-hand side that says GM Whisper.
You'll have to go to the fourth icon up at the top where that says macro, and look under it. There's one that says GM Whisper, and you need to put a tick in bar. Fourth one along that says collection.
Oh, on the character sheet, sorry.
No, it's on roll 20.
1, 2,
Up
3.
at the top,
Yeah.
collection. You've got the chat. You've got journal.
Yeah.
You've got jukebox.
Yeah.
And the next
Oh,
one,
macros, sorry. Yeah. GM Whisper in bar. Thank you very much. Wonderful.
Okay, so this is my voice now rather than the android's. The android is going to give you some basic information. She will read the information to you once. It scrolls up on your screen as well. You are quite welcome to take notes throughout. She will then proceed to give you a series of questions, which you will answer using that GM Whisper. Okay, it is test situations, so there will be no discussion about this. Discussion is automatic failure of the Space Travel 101 course. 101 course is the basic certificate for anybody to actually get onto a spaceship. Even passengers need some knowledge of space in order to get it right. So hopefully you are all ready. And she says to you all, she says, "Are we all ready to begin?" And up on your screen comes a little red button that says ready. That is pressing ready for some input.
Dave will press it.
Sam will press it.
Yeah. I'll push it.
Then she says, "I will begin. As technology improved, time travel between worlds dropped from months and years to days, and the optimal routes between planets became crowded with spacecraft. Yet even in this new age of space flight, voyages beyond the solar system remained rare. Travelling to even the nearest star at conventional speeds would take generations. While a few starships had drives capable of circumventing this obstacle, all relied on extremely expensive magical technology, often controlled by churches or other organisations. From the Asmodean hell drives to the Kuthite shadow drives in the prayer-fueled cores of the Lomanian cathedral ships, most of these technologies not only took the ship through other planes, but also operated with direct divine assistance, and thus always came with a hefty price. While other drives have been theorised, drives that could fold space, for example, create stable wormholes, or otherwise bend the rules of physics, the Pact Worlds had never managed to build them. End of paragraph 1. Press when ready to proceed.
Dave will press.
Press.
Sam will have a quick look around, see what everyone else is doing, and then press the button.
Then, 3 years after the end of the gap, the signal went out. Some worlds received it as a broadcast. It came to others in the form of dreams of inventors or lunatics, or etched into floors by malfunctioning assembly robots. Still others dug it from the innards of crashed space probes found in carved monoliths in city centres, or heard it blared from the sky by entities within wheels of flame. Regardless of the mechanism, at the same instant, thousands of cultures across the material plane received the same information. Blueprints for the new type of starship drive, one capable of cheaply and efficiently shortening the distance between stars. End of paragraph 2. Press to continue.
Yeah. Press.
Sam will press the button as well.
Though some scholars argue that every mortal culture received this information, many recipients were never aware of it or able to capitalize on it. In some cases, cultures weren't technology advanced enough to interpret the information. Explorers have even uncovered these designs painted on cave walls by an uncomprehending Paleolithic culture. In other cases, the information was lost due to a simple accident, as when an inventor blessed with the information fell out of a window before he could share it. End of paragraph 3.
David press.
Yep, press.
Sam will press as soon as he's finished stopping his.
Immediately following the signal, the new god Triune revealed itself to the Pact Worlds, claiming to have granted the knowledge as a blessing to its new mortal children. Formerly 3 minor gods of machines and robotics, now networked together into a single entity, the Divine Collective claimed to have peered through the substrata of reality and discovered a previously unknown plane of existence. Called the Rift, this plane could be reached only via technology, not magic, and would allow mortals to cheaply and easily travel between points anywhere in the galaxy. In granting this discovery to the world, Triune became one of the most powerful entities in the multiverse overnight, the new god of interstellar travel. End of paragraph 4. Please press to continue.
Interstellar travel.
Dave's going to press.
Press the button.
He wants to press it sort of like 10
Press.
seconds into the next load as well, just to see whether or not anything happens.
Once you press it, it disappears.
Ah.
So, have we all pressed? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like earlier interstellar drives, drift engines operate by jumping to another plane of existence and then back to a different point on the material plane, thus never actually running up against a hard limit presented by the speed of light. In the past, that had meant using powerful magic and travelling to places like heaven, hell, the maelstrom, or the first world, places inhabited by creatures and gods, with sometimes inconvenient attitudes and appetites. The drift, on the other hand, is a different type of dimension, a void of swirling colours without substance, a mostly empty place of mutable laws, thought by some to be the quantum foam underlying all creation. While magic still functions inside the drift, only technology can pierce the membrane between it and the rest of reality, which, combined with Triune's role as gatekeeper, keeps any other deities or organisations from monopolising the place. End of paragraph. Press continue.
I'll press.
Pressing the button.
Yep.
When even most skeptics and members of other religions are forced to admit that Triune has appeared to make good on its egalitarian offer to maintain cheap and easy interstellar travel for everyone, use of the drift does come with a catch. Every time a drift engine is used, a tiny portion of a random plane is torn from its home and added to the drift, set to float there for eternity. The further the jump, the larger chunk of material, which sometimes appears near the jumping ship, adding an element of risk. You never know when a long jump might tear away a chunk of hell and leave you flying through a cloud of furious devils. Even those making safely measured jumps might encounter strange beasts trapped there by previous travels. Why the technology involves this side effect is unknown, though some conspiracy theorists believe that it's an ever-increasing size of the rift and the corresponding shrinking of other planes of existence. It's part of an unscrutable power play by Triune itself. End of discussion. Please be prepared for the following questions. Pass mark is 100%. Questions. Press ready to continue.
Sam will press ready.
Press ready.
Okay, so remember to use your game whisper. Nobody else should see it. It should come straight through to me. Question number 1. How many years after the gap did the signal go out? Beep, 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 beep. Time is up. Question number 2. After the signal, who or what revealed itself? Beep, 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 beep. Question number 3. Triune became a collective of how many other entities? Beep, 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 beep. Question number 4. What is the name of the plane which can only be reached via technology? Beep, 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 beep. Question number 5. You will have 20 seconds to answer this question. What happens every time a drift engine is used? Beep, 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 beep. The test is finished. The answers will be given. How many years after the gap did the signal go out? The answer was 3. After the signal, who or what revealed itself? Triune. Triune. Triune became a collective of how many other entities? The correct answer was 3. What is the name of the plane which can only be reached via technology? The answer is the drift. And question number 5. What happens every time a drift engine is used? Answers will be accepted within the confines of every time a drift engine is used, a tiny portion of a random plane is torn from its home and added to the drift, set to float there for eternity. Thank you. The test is now finished. And everybody sort of like closes down their laptops and gets ready to leave.
Ava look to the other two and go, well, I guess I'll be on my way then.
I think I might be joining you.
One thinks that might be 3 of us.
I hope it's not a Vesk ship that they put us on. They're notorious bad for the engineer side of it. Nothing but a bucket of bolts it'll be.
Probably not, but one can hope it has some sweet lines.
Yes, well, as long as I have time to or a space to sit down and meditate, I'll be fine.
I wonder when we get the results.
Yeah, so it's as you are leaving that you notice that you have a communication, and it's coming straight from Captain Irvin, and it is commenting that you need to meet on the docking bay at docking bay 56427. Which is a local docking bay that you've been used to and you've been before to, and you know that it's where the Starfinder Society's fleet is actually stored, ready for future work. And once you get there, the captain is there. And he's very pleased to meet you, and he turns around to you all and he says, congratulations, and he stands next to the entry ramp of quite a sleek looking starship, and he waves his hands over the side of the starship affectionately and says, this is the Law Seeker, Pegasus class ship, where that's one of the fastest and lightest in the Society's fleet. You, as in you all 4 of you, will be taking the Law Seeker into the drift, cripple the Exonian ship as a corpse fleet vessel. They won't be open to negotiations, so please do not try. And please recover the location of the lost Starfinder vessel. Do you have any questions?
I don't think so. So, get on the ship, fly out to where we're going, cripple the other ship, the Endless Ferredo Don or something.
Threnody.
Threnody, and then isn't it already sort of like stranded because it can't go anywhere?
That's right. Then we have to find the unbound wayfarer.
So the Dave, thank you. The condition of the endless threnody, we only know that the drift engine is damaged, so unable to leave the drift. The fact that its agent was prevented from acquiring the replacement parts means its drift engine is probably still offline. But you can assume that it has armaments and other systems are operational. As a freighter, it's unlikely to be bristling with weapons, but do be careful.
Do we know whether or not starships have more than one engine? Do they have like an impulse engine for travel?
They have thrusters, which is used from starships can do a number of things. They can either go, if you think about it in different levels, starships can actually go right the way to the ground level. It can go ground level to ground level, so almost like a suborbital flight. They can do that. They can also go ground to orbit, and orbit to space stations or satellites or moons or whatever. They can also go from planet to planet. All these are with thruster drives, okay? And they can move around within the solar system or within the space system using their thruster drives. They can actually travel from system to system with thruster drives as well. However, as previously mentioned in Space Travel 101, this can take some time and even generations, and hence why the drift is operational now. So ships then, for some ships, not all ships, some ships then have a drift engine, and what this means is that thrusters need to be turned off, i.e. shut down altogether, so the ship is not moving. And they use it with very cleverly. They actually fire forward thrusters and reverse thrusters at the same time, because obviously in space it would continue moving for a considerable amount of time with forward momentum. And to make it go completely stop, when the ship is completely at a standstill, it can then activate its drift engine. That takes it into the drift. The thrusters then carry across the drift, stops again, engages drift engine to come out of the drift. Does that make sense?
I'm with you.
Yeah. So basically, if the drift engine is not operable, you can't get in and out of the drift. So it means that you're either trapped on this side or perhaps more worryingly on that side. Yes, correct.
As far as ships go, how big is this thing?
Say thing.
The ship that we're going to be going
The
on.
Law Seeker.
Oh yeah. So there's a picture of it.
Yeah.
On the thing, and I can also provide you. I'm going to provide you with a handout. Okay, and let's just go through this. So you should all be able now to see the Law Seeker handout. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay then. So just to go through it, it's a tier 2 ship, which the bigger the tier, the more bonuses you get. Speed 10 is the number of hexes you can move in a movement round. Mobility, good. Generally means is you can do. It means you could do one turn as part of your movement. So the better the maneuverability of it. So you have to do one movement, then you can turn, then the rest of your movement. The better the ship is, the more moving it can do. So small fighters tend to have superb movability, which means it can go turn, move, turn, move, turn, move, turn, move, so etc. etc. Drift means it's drift drive there. Its armor class there you can see is 13. and its target locking is 13 as well. Hit points 55. You can get up to double that before your ship is destroyed, so it'd be 110. Shield, you can see that you've got a basic shield representation, forward, port, starboard and aft. Those are 10, so think about that as in the amount of hit points it does to that area before it comes through to your hull. So for example, if you've got a forward shield of 10, and you can see the ship has forward light laser cannons that do 2d4 worth of damage. So if somebody fires a light cannon at you, even with maximum damage, it's not going to come through your shields. However, do notice that you have forward, port and starboard light laser cannons. You've got a turret at the top which is a coiled gun, which is 4d4. And that means it can fire in any of the arcs. Then you can see that there's various things down below that you can see. It has a drift engine, basic sensor ranges. It has computer in. So can you see down there it says modifier +2 computers and +1 piloting. That means whoever's using the computers or whoever's piloting, you automatically get that plus to your actual dice roll because of what the computer can do. Just up at the top, you will notice that is the combat rounds. So basically we have engineering first, we have helm next, and then we have gunnery. And well, I'll talk about those in a little bit more detail in a second. Okay, so is there any other questions that you would like to ask Captain Arvin before he heads off?
No, Dave's got it. He knows what he's doing.
Okay.
Got it. Go in, destroy the ship, find out one, bring it back. I will find out what happened to it and come back. Sorted.
Okay. So in which case, if you have no more questions about anything, then let's get straight on with sorting out where you're going to go. So as you enter the ship, once you board any starter spaceship, then you have to decide your role, okay, on that board that vessel. Once that role is decided, you can swap between roles, as in ROLE, but only if that role is vacant. Okay, so say for example somebody is the pilot and then they die, then somebody can actually elect to take over that role and in order to pilot the ship.
Is it done in sort of like separate modules, or is it all done on the bridge and they're sort of like separate?
It's all done, for the sake of argument, the Law Seeker has all one area on the bridge, so you will all be on the bridge dealing with. The only thing that might happen, for example, if the computer system goes down, and then there'll be no communication to the engine room, and so you might have to physically go down there. Obviously things like gunnery turrets are fired from the bridge, but again, if systems fail or whatever, then you might have to physically go down it. So there's actually the complement of the Law Seeker can actually be between 4 and 7. Okay, so you do have enough people just to command it yourself if you wish. I'm going to give you the roles that the Law Seeker needs, and I'm going to tell you what each one needs. Okay, each class, and then you can then decide between yourselves, including Buddy, who's going to be at what. So you have one captain, one pilot, and then any number of engineers, gunners, or science officers. So there's one captain, one pilot, and then the other roles are engineers, gunners, and science officers. Okay, so those are the things.
Dave's going to, as everybody stood there, he's going
but
to...
hang on, go on then, because I just want to tell you can I just tell you what each role needs, so we know. So pilots should have a good piloting bonus. That's the first thing that they should have. Gunners can have one of two things. They could have a base attack bonus, which is a BAB, which is up at the top of your character sheet, or a piloting skill. So gunners use their BAB, their base attack bonus, or their piloting skill to adjust the roll. Engineers, quite obviously, should have good engineering bonus. Science officers should have good computer bonuses. And captains should have good bluff, diplomacy, and or intimidation bonus, as well as any of these skills up above. Now, you don't, if there's something, a role that is not taken, then we can adjust that, and NPC crew members will be coming on board. Okay, so hopefully you got all that, so off you go.
So as everybody stood there, Dave's going to reach into a pouch on his on his belt, and he takes out what looks like some type of fancy screwdriver from this kit that he's got, and he'll say, "Right, I'll go and see whether or not this bucket of bolts can actually get off the ground. I'll be engineering if you need me."
So you are declaring that you are going to be the engineer, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I am indeed.
Okay, cool.
Does Buddybot have computer skills?
Hang on, I can tell you that. The answer to that question is yes. He actually has computer 5, so he will be good as the science officer, because
my -1.
Because he actually has a good the other thing that Buddy can be, if ever you're just flying by yourself, he does have some good roles to be the captain as well.
Right, yeah,
so,
but we don't want him to be the captain.
But I'm quite happy for him to be the science officer.
Cool. Well, I'm pretty nifty with piloting.
Okay, so Dave, you're the engineer. Buddy's the science officer. Sam, you are the piloting, and Zaf.
Looks like I'm going to be a gunner.
You're going to be the gunner. Okay, so in which case, Captain Arvin will actually come and be the captain on the ship. Now, what I'm going to give for you now is that I'm going to share with you, and you only, things that you can do. Okay, so Sam, can you now see the pilot handout?
Yes.
Yep, cool. Dave, you should now see the engineer.
Have indeed.
Zath, you should be able to see the gunner.
Yep.
And Buddy can actually see the whatchamacallit, the science officer. Okay, so what you will have there is that you'll have a series of actions, okay, that tells you which phase you can do those actions in. Pilot, there is an additional thing that I'm going to share with everybody so you can all see this. These are the maneuvers that you can actually do in your spaceship. So if you have a look at them, hopefully you can all see that now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, notice the back one, the bottom one is the firing arcs. The blue hexes are the ones that can do with 2 adjacent arcs. So the one on the sort of like northeast can be hit by the forward arc or the starboard arc. It's up to you. Only one weapon can fire at any one time. Turrets have 360-degree fire. Okay, so that's all that. You will also see on your sheet a whole load of things that you can do in your turn. So it will say helm phase, etc., etc. Those are all on the Lore Seeker's sheet. So if you go onto the Lore Seeker's sheet, you will notice that up at the top it says each round of Starship combat is divided into 3 phases resolved in order. Each character on board a starship typically acts in only one of these phases. The captain can act in any phase. So engineering goes first, then the helm, then the gunnery, and then we go back at the beginning. Okay. The only thing that is done out of sync is that piloting, when we get to the helm, you'll notice that the pilot, you roll your piloting check, the pilot with the lowest results acts first to move this starship, to perform stunts, etc., followed by the next one until all starships have moved. Okay. Also during this phase, science officers act at the same point as the phase as the starship's pilot. Okay. Then damage is done. And one thing I had to remind you about damage for gunners, everything is simultaneous. So if you fire and blow a ship up, it is not actually blown up until it's had its fire back at you.
So the end of the turn, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's actually it. Engineering, you have a whole load of roles that you can do. So you can do things like divert power, you can hold it together, you can patch systems up, etc., etc. You also have the critical damage underneath. So if a 20 is rolled on a to hit, then that is a critical, and critical damage can be done on your ship. Okay.
What's our ship tier?
It says on. It should say on the Lore Seeker.
Yeah, I was just
Tier
having a
2,
look.
wasn't it?
Yeah, if you have a look on the lore, it's a tier 2. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got that, and the only thing that I just need to check up on before we blast off into space, guys, it's at this point that you just need to make sure. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a learning curve. But the more information and questions you've got out the way now, the better.
You can only control one of the stations from one location.
Explain what you mean, please.
So, for example, Dave has both. If, for example, Dave had to go onto the pilot, would he actually need to go to that station, or could he control it from his station?
No, yeah, I understand what you mean. No, you would have to go to the pilot.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So only one station can be controlled from that station. So the engineering station is completely separate from.
Correct.
The computer.
Yeah. So once you're all there, roundabout, then say, for example, if the terminal for the pilot blows up, then the science officer can actually make a computer roll and divert responsibility to another station if they wish, and that would be a normal computer roll. But if not, somebody will have to go to that station to take it over with. Just to let you know, gunners wear red shirts. I don't know if that's any significance at all. And then that's it. The only other thing to remember is that it's a hexagraphical map when we get onto it. And therefore, one turn is 60 degrees, which is one element. You change faces on the hex, and then that's it. Okay, yeah. Anything else that anybody would like to ask or is not sure about?
On gunnery, it does say about using the bonus from the computer systems and bonus from the captain and science officers.
Yeah, so that is depending what the pilot does. there are some actions that the pilot can do that actually gives certain bonuses.
Yeah.
And so you can actually and then the science officer can engage, they can go for what's known as target system. And so what they do is that they the science officer can use the sensors, starship sensors, to target a specific system on the enemy ship. Okay, and then basically they roll a computer thing and they need to do it. And then if they succeed, the next attack may by say hits the enemy score on a 19 or 20. Sometimes they give you an extra bonus to your to hit, etc., etc.
And stuff like that.
What you have, by the way, at the moment is the level 1 stuff. So as you get higher up and higher up, then you can get higher. You can do more and more things. You know. So target locks tends to be done with weapons such as missiles.
Yeah.
Because they're sort of like, is it called fire and forget?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just press the button, target lock is engaged, and that's it. So basically your gunner check is 1d20 plus your base attack, plus piloting, plus your dexterity bonus if you have anything, plus the bonuses from the computer system, which is +2, that's on the sheet, plus the captain. So the captain, just so you know, which I think is fantastic, the captain can demand to improve performance, and if they're successful, that gives you a +4 attack. So get it done now, you know, a sort of thing. They can encourage you, which is easier to do. It's a diplomacy check, and that gives you +2. Or it can use the ship's sensors to taunt the enemy vessels. Okay, and therefore, if successful, each enemy character attack during the selected phase gets -2 penalty for all checks for 1d4. So forth and so on. You will notice that there's some actions that says push. Okay, so push actions, hang on, let me just find it so I read it exactly, are when it's something that can only be done if it makes it a lot more difficult. And I think it's let me just get onto your actions. Critical hits, I read that, that's fun. Push actions indicate an action's heading are difficult to perform but yield greater results. You cannot perform a push action if the necessary system is malfunctioning or wrecked. So if you, for example, the captain can do taunt any phase, but it's a push action. So if the ship's sensors are out, then that is it. You cannot do that push action. Okay, but it should be self-explanatory about what each one is. Okay, I'm going to give. You can see that you have your law seeker there. Can you see it in the little black?
Yes.
Little black circle. And so the question is there anything that you would like to do before heading away?
Dave's going to go on, and he's going to get onto his onto his engineering console, and the first thing he's going to do is sort of like press a whole load of buttons just to make sure that, you know, he runs a diagnostics to see what it comes up at, and then he'll probably sigh and pop off a panel somewhere and start activate the light on his comm unit and shine it in and sort of like start tweaking things just to make sure that everything's up and running properly.
Okay, cool.
So Sam will go on, immediately see the piloting seat, and sort of like sit down in it, and he's gonna wiggle around and do all this sort of thing, adjusting the seats just at the right angle for this bit and just at the right angle for this bit. And
yeah, it's quite technological at the moment. So once you sit, it automatically molds itself and adjusts itself to the correct height for perfect. You're actually a bit like Starship Star Trek. No, Star Trek Next Generation. So you're slightly reclined
Okay.
at your place. Just
He's
Next
still going to do
Generation.
that, so he's still going to sort of like settle himself into the seat and, sort of like, yeah,
Yeah.
Dave looks
make a
over.
bit showy looking.
He looks over and goes, "Are you a good pilot?"
Soon find out.
Captain Arvin comes onto the bridge, and he comes down and he sits into his computer onto his main sort of like chair, main control, and he requests that all stations report in, which you duly do, and then he turns to you, Sam, and said, please, Mr. Starlight, take us away from Absalom Station.
Aye, aye, Captain.
He says. He turns around to you and says, "This is not a pirate ship."
You just hear Dave sigh, and he goes,
Brilliant. Do you want me to do a roll?
No.
Okay.
This is just a role-playing
Okay, so that's right.
opportunity.
So, taking handbrake off. And here we go. Strap yourself in, guys.
He sort of like looks around and says, "Mr. Starlight, I'm not too sure where you received your training, but starships, especially the Law Seeker, does not have something which you class as a handbrake. Engage thrusters."
Done.
And the Law Seeker is taken out of orbit from Absalom Station, and it starts to put a bit of speed distance away from it before it actually activates its drift engine. And the captain turns around to you all and says, "Full stop, Mr. Starlance."
Braking now, sir. And he engages the thrusters at the front of the ship to sort of like to slow it down and eases off to a perfect standstill.
He turns around to Buddy and says, "Mr. Buddy, is drift coordination, drift drive navigation engaged, please, and prepare to engage the drift engine."
You hear Dave saying, "Drift engine's ready to go."
Ship-wide message, please, Mr. Buddy. This is your captain speaking. Please maintain preparation and battle stations until throughout the time in the drift. We are about to engage the drift engine. Please stand by. Mr. Dave, standing by for engagement with drift engine.
Drift engine engaged.
No, Mr. Dave, I engage the drift engine. You tell me when it's ready.
Yes, it's engaged to be engaged.
All hands, prepare for drift engine engagement. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and the monkey flips the switch, Mr. Dave.
Oh, hang on. He flips the switch.
Yeah, and you notice that when you're going, hang on, you see his hand actually move over to his own controls in preparation just to click it here himself if you weren't quick enough to actually engage it. And the Law Seeker shudders for a moment and then shoots off into what can only be known as the drift. And you should be able to see yourselves on there.
Let me zoom out a bit because at the moment I can't. Yeah. Do we know how long it'll take us in the drift to arrive at the other spaceship?
Yeah, it will take somewhere between 3 to 4 hours.
Right. Is that classed as a just going into when we were having our training about the longer the jump, the
yes,
more...
you are going quite a distance. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Can everybody make a culture check for me, please?
It's a class skill, and I don't have a tick in it. So
In which case you can't then.
no.
You can only cast it if you've actually been trained in it.
Yes, ignore mine then, because I haven't any.
Oh,
Right.
Which is strange. Yeah.
Culture, is that the CS with a tick next to it? So a tick box.
Yeah, so the tick.
Oh, no, I was looking at the wrong tick box. Ignore me.
You need a rank in it.
Yeah, ignore me.
Okay. Yeah, so Buddy actually makes his roll, and he sort of like turns around to you and says, information about Exonian's corpse fleet coming to your stations now. And there's a whole lot of information coming to you about the planet Exo, and also the ghost ship. So planet Exo, I'll just take you back onto the Pact World, and you'll be able to see Exo. Exo had a group of individuals called Librians, I think, or Libyans, I think they're called. Anyway, they created a massive weapon that they were quite happy to use to engage with other planets and make them surrender and actually take over the Pact Worlds. However, when they actually fired the weapon off, it actually backfired, and you can see from Eox there that it caused a huge hole in the crust of the planet. It also instantly set fire to the atmosphere and burnt it, and the only people who actually survived in human form were people who were underground or magically protected out the way. Interestingly enough, Eox didn't just deplete itself and disappear. It became known as what can probably be said as the undead planet. And it's actually divided into what's called fiefdoms, and each is governed by a bone sage. And basically the ships that they operate in the corpse fleet are actually made up of a mixture of bones and metal fused together. And consequently, what they tend to do is that nobody's sure how these are powered, but there is a belief that it's actually powered via undead bones, which links Zath and Dave to your previous mission when Exigara was actually collecting bones for it. So basically, one of the things, if you think about them as in sort of like two groups of people, there's some nice Eoxians, but there's some that are completely undead, and completely. This does cause a problem for some guys like you going onto spaceships, because of course undead don't need an atmosphere to live on at all.
So they're very much like revisiting Serenity, which you've not seen.
He hasn't watched it.
No.
Are they two factions on?
There's lots of different factions on Eox. You can actually go to the planet if you wish.
Right.
It's not sort of like, there are some humans living on there, but they tend to have rather well-defined foreheads, and they tend to be more undead. It just out of interest, if you do want any really cheap artificial arms and legs, then Eox is the place to go for. There's a really good market trade on there. Of course, whether or not they are actually artificial is another thing altogether.
So, in comparison, so we started on the Absalon station, and the ship that we're going to, the Endless Threnody, that is from Eox.
It's part of the Corpse Fleet.
Right.
So it originated from Eox.
Yeah, but do so on this map. Whereabouts is it?
No, you're in the drift now.
Right. Okay.
So it's probably not even in the packed worlds.
Right. It's in a different. Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And so, but you have to remember that not all Eoxians are evil. There is just a group of them named by the Corpse Fleet that actually are almost like out on their own somewhere.
Right. Okay.
Okay, is there anything you would like to do? Threnody means... Threnody is an actual word. I don't know if you know that. It means lament. So the name of the Corpse Fleet ship is actually called the Endless Lament, which is all to do with being sad and sorry.
Oh.
Well, while we're in the drift, Zath's going to be familiarising himself with all 5 weapon consoles. So his forearms are working the guns, but they're not straying too far away from the turret control.
Okay, anything else that you would like to do or sort out, or anything in your drift space?
No. How long are we going to be in it for? Is it sort of like a few days, or?
It's likely to be days, although that you're just travelling to the location, the last location of the Endless Threnody.
Okay.
Of course, whether or not it's there or not is another thing.
Dave's going to ask the captain. He's going to say, because this is the same captain who was who gave us the mission for the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to say, so this the data pad that we got from the woman last time.
Yeah.
And she had the Starfinder insignias. Was she from the Endless Threnody?
Yes, you knew that from the data pad data from last time. So she was actually from the Endless Threnody and had actually come to Absalon Station to sell the insignias, but also to find some bones, maybe to pilot the Endless Threnody. So she was almost like somebody that was sent away to sort of like maybe bring back something that's actually to repair the stuff.
Dave was just curious why she didn't go back to Eox rather than the Absalon Station where the rest of the Bone Fleet was.
Mainly because people like that and part of the Ghost Fleet might not actually be welcome within their own fieldoms. You know, they tend to be more like space pirates.
Okay.
Okay, could somebody please roll for me? Oh no, I'll do it. It's all right. This is that is Buddy's roll there. Oh, I think you could see that, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He scored a 19, which is actually 21 because he'll have +2 for the sensors roll. Yeah, and sort of like after a few hours, Buddy turns around and announces to the to everybody on the ship. He says, "Endless Threnody has been located."
Sam will sort of resettle and reconcentrate on the piloting controls.
You hear Dave say, "How far is it away, buddy?"
It's going to appear on your map. Can you see it? Hang on, I'm just moving it a little bit further down. There you go.
Is it on the star map?
I was going to say it's on the
It
star
was on
map.
Star Map.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
that's it.
Okay, it's actually going on the south. It's facing in the direction of the southwest, and it seems to be well, Buddy has just identified that it's there. Okay, is there anything that anybody would like to do or say?
Dave will say, engineers standing by, it's all ready to go.
Yes, and Zaf will be catching the set. All weapons ready.
Piloting ready. How close do you want to get to her?
Okay, so let is it a case that you just want the captain to lead you through it and sort of like take charge of what needs to happen then? Yeah.
No, I prefer that not happen. Can Buddy find out whether or not it's moving at all, or whether or not is it moving on impulse engines, and if so, is it moving in our direction?
Yeah, as previously stated, it's facing to the southwest, and
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
moving along that trajectory. It's on impulse engines, thruster engines only.
Okay, can he scan for weaponry?
He can try to scan the ship, yeah, and
Right.
get information from his role, which is absolutely fine. I can do that. He'll have +2 because of the ship's computer. Yeah. Okay. He sort of like calls it up on the big screen in front of you. So it's a freighter. It's a massive vessel made out of bone and steel. Okay, that's what it's actually made out of. In the front of the ship, there's a single enormous red lens that appears to be like a sullen, bloody eye, and the ship is bristling with bone protrusions, as though it's some kind of horned skeletal beast. Some of the bones, however, are charred and broken, indicating past battle damage, maybe. Laser cannons protrude from the front and sides of the freighter, but you also notice that the rear weapon mounts are twisted and wrecked. There's gaps between the bones, which shows the ship's interior. However, these are not due to battle damage, and the ship was never intended to accommodate living creatures.
Okay. So we want to try to attack it from the rear, and we want to try to disable its impulse engines to begin with, so that it can't go anywhere at all.
Sounds good. I'll put us into a position for that then.
Okay, just 1 second. I'm just going to I'm just calling up okay, the pilot now has control of the law seeker, and are we now do you know what everybody, you know what you're going to do, etc., I presume?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you swing past it, I will open up on the rear.
Okay then, so we start therefore at the beginning of the round with engineering. So engineer, is there anything that you would like to do in your turn?
Yeah, Dave wants to divert any auxiliary power to the can he divert it to the front shields?
Yeah, you can put it you can send it to the steel sheaths. You restore an amount of shield points equal to 5% of the ship's power core. So
Up to its maximum value, so he can't divert it from, say, the rear shields and put it onto the front. In which case, no, at the moment, until the ship starts to suffer losses, he won't be
Okay.
doing anything.
So next up is helms. So everybody, both you guys need to roll piloting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get 18. So the I'm going to be moving first, and the endless Threnody is literally just moving its speed. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just to remind you, it's facing in the southwest quadrant now. So if 1 is north and then counting clockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's currently facing number 5 as it flies off. Okay, so that's the now it's Law Seeker's turn.
Okay, so I can move the number of hexes equal to its movement rate, can't I?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And I can move in any direction in the hexes, so I can go like 2 forward and then 1 up type thing. It doesn't have to be in a straight line.
If you wish to turn, then you have to do 1 forward movement before you can turn. And the same, so you have to always move 1 forward movement before you can turn.
And drifting, is that just moving into the next hexagonal?
No, it just ignore that for the time being.
Right.
Okay. So we're facing number 2, aren't we? So we're facing northeast. 3, 4, and then a turn. Is that counted as a movement square? I can't remember.
So you move 1 square.
Yeah.
And then you turn.
It's just a facing adjustment.
So it doesn't count as one of the 10 movement actions things then?
So I thought Zaf was going to tell you. No, yeah. So
no, sorry, no.
So yeah, it's just classed as a turn.
Okay.
So now this would be your 1. That's 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll now move and turn. So in the next one, you could be facing to the position number 1.
Oh right, okay, I see. So it was 1, 2,
3,
4, and then he wants to go up 1. Is that right?
5, 6, 7,
9 and 10. Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, gunners. It's our turn. So currently you're in the ship is in which firing arc, Gunner?
Yes, well, I'm going to be using the turret anyway.
Okay, then. But hang on, which firing arc is it in at the moment?
That is in the forward stroke left.
Yeah, it's in the front. So any attacks now back on the ship will come to forward shield as well. I'm just going to add you all to the ship because that's got all the details of all the ships on. You should be able to see the character sheet now on that. Can you all see that?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, I see it.
If you look on the Law Seeker icon, if you hold down Shift and double click on it, it'll open up your Open up the character sheet on it, and you should see all the information on the Starfinder sheet.
Hold down Shift and double click.
Yeah. Do you not see it?
Not doing anything for me.
On that?
No, nothing for me.
I got it open in the normal handout way.
Try it now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's in my handouts now. Yeah.
Got it, yeah.
Cool. Okay, Gunners, you up?
Wonderful. Right. So we're doing turret. Is it on the handout or not?
Is what on the handout, sorry?
So the roll for.
Yeah, so it's 1d20
Yep.
plus your base attack thing, plus all your ranks in piloting if it's higher.
Now I was going to say ranks. I've got a total of 1, but no trained ranks, so it's 0. That isn't it?
Yeah, so therefore you just add in your base attack thing. Your dexterity modifier.
Dex. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so add that onto it. Computer systems haven't been engaged. There's no bonuses from the captain or the science officer, and there's no range penalties at the present moment in time. So yeah, roll away. So it's just 1d20 plus all your things. 16. So you're hitting against the armor class, and as your ship comes up alongside it, it fires off to the port side, I think. And so roll your damage.
Wonderful. So that's stop it. Ignore that. Sorry. That one. 44 and 7.
7 points, excellent. So that clicks into its port side. You notice that there's no indication that there's any shields up that side. It seems to go straight through and blast a hole out of the side of the ship, and little bits of bone fragment start to sort of like sails off. At that point,
A hit, sir. The most palpable hit.
yeah, and at that point, the laser cannon that is on that side fires back at the law. So this is going against your armor class of your weapon. I get a 20, not natural, so therefore it will hit you, and it's going to do it does 4 points of damage
To my forward, isn't it?
to your forward shields. Yeah, so that's now down to 6. Okay, so you notice that it fires off its laser thing and it goes straight into your shield, and you feel your whole lower seeker sort of like rattle a bit, and and that's the end of that turn. Okay, so now we start the next turn. So we're back to Helm. Sorry, engineering first, sorry.
Okay, so the forward shield has taken some...
Yeah, it's down to 6 out of 10.
Right, so can I divert some power to the shields?
Yeah, by all means.
But equal to 5% of the CPU rating of the ship.
Okay then, so you should have that on your
Yes.
on your
So
sheet.
the rating.
You got 150.
So 5% of that, yeah. So 7.
Okay. So you need to do a dice roll, don't you?
Yeah, to the front shield, and that's an engineering check. Do I add anything else onto it?
It should say so. It should say what you need to roll on your sheet. So it's this week. Are you diverting power?
Yes.
Yeah. This requires. If you read it, it says this requires a successful engineering check. DC difficult rating 10 plus 2 times your starship's tier.
So it's tier 2, isn't it?
So that's 10 plus 4. So your DC is 14.
Right.
So you're rolling an engineering roll, and your difficulty class is 14. So the bigger the ship, the harder it becomes.
Right. So I'm rolling my engineering, which is so I got 21.
Yeah, so that's successful. So in which case you divert power to the forward shield. So you will restore 7 points from that onto your back onto your Law Seeker, which will actually take that shield up to it. Yeah, go for it. Tell me what happens, Dave.
So Dave's he sees the instruments and the shields going up. So he just sort of like.
Yeah, so Buddy probably announces. He'll probably announce and say, hit to forward shields. Shield integrity down to 6.
So he sort of like goes down and he takes off the side panel, and he almost like takes a wire out of something and puts it somewhere else, and all of a sudden there's power diverted from the main engine and it goes onto the shields, and you see the actual the indicator go back up as the shield goes from amber back up to green.
Yeah, so just for the future, diverting power, it's fine what you said, is mainly just done by manipulating the power. You'll probably start taking things off when you're actually trying to hold it together or patching. Those are the roles that you were taking things off. And divert power, you're just taking auxiliary power and then just funnel it straight to the shields. Excellent. So we're on to Helm now. So this is pilot roles. Yeah, a nice roll from what's my piloting? That. Yeah, I get 10, so I'm going first. So this is I have a movement of 6, but my maneuverability is only average. So this is 1, 2. That's my 2 forward. So I got to do 2. Now I can change direction. So now I'm coming down to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm coming down to number 4. And then moving my 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going down here. So he's currently facing 4. Yeah. So the hex is at 4. That's where he's front facing.
So where's he facing? 1,
4.
2, 3. Right. Okay.
So he's facing directly south.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when I redo the tokens, guys, what I'm going to do is put a dot on the front of the ships, and then
it's easy enough to tell from ours, but from other ones it can be a bit.
I can turn it like that. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Pilot, it's up to you.
So is that the direction he's now facing?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go. Do you have to move your full 10, or can you move up to less?
Your speed is 6, unless you want to full stop the vessel.
All right. Okay. So I can only move 6 spaces. That's fine.
Yeah. No, sorry. Sorry, that's mine. Mine 6. Whatever I'm looking at my ship. So
okay,
whatever
yeah,
your.
But I can move anything up to that. I don't
Yeah.
have to move 10 each time. That's fine.
I think, just out of interest,
Cages.
yeah, you can move. You can move fewer than this amount as determined by the pilot. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So, I'm going to turn to phase 5.
No, you can't. Is not your maneuverability 1?
What was it?
You have to go forward 1 before you can turn.
Okay, that's fine. So that's 1.
Now you can turn.
Turn. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I've got to go. We've got to go forward 1 before I can turn again, haven't I?
No, because you've gone forward. Haven't you gone forward about 3?
Oh, you've got to go. It's just 1, and then you can turn as many times as you want. I thought you had to.
You have to do. Sorry, you have to go at least 1 hex forward because of your maneuverability. So before you can turn. So as long as if you're traveling in a straight line, as long as you've gone 1 forward, then you can turn any time after that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I interpreted it. I had to go turn 1, turn 1, turn 1, that sort of thing. But no, that's fine. And then finish up facing that way.
Do you know these? Different manoeuvres that you can do?
Yeah.
Do they give negative modifiers to us being hit?
Well, it depends on the on what you actually do. So you mean the stunts?
Yeah.
Yeah. So depending on the stunt, for example, evade gives +2 to bonus to your armor class until the start of the next round. Barrel roll, that actually.
Well, that allows you to move through the enemy hex.
Yeah, you can back off, which actually it gives bonuses to your AC, etc., etc. So the stunts affect the armor class of your ship and the target lock.
Right.
Yeah. So you'll see Sam. So after the first round of fire, you just see him piloting the ship, and he just does it in a long sweeping swoop around. He's not doing anything fancy at this point.
Okay.
And he manages to get it just up behind the other ship, and he calls to it's Zaf, isn't it? He calls to Zaf, "Got you up her backside."
When's the science officers? Is it at the end of?
Science officers can actually engage any time that they want.
Right. Can we have
A firing solution.
Targeting the impulse engine?
So you want him to target system it?
Yeah. Is that a thing?
Yeah. So he to target the engine. So he will need to roll his equal to 15 plus the tier of the enemy ship. T2, so that's 17. It hasn't got his countermeasures out at the moment. What do you want? The engines, yeah?
Yeah, impulse engine.
Yeah, okay. So this is Buddy's roll, therefore. Let me just get onto his character sheet because I just shut it down. So he needs... this is his computer roll coming off now. Yeah, he failed that. So you get no... You don't target the systems, but Gunnar, you still have your opportunity to fire.
I do indeed. So that's 1. Oh, stop it! Add 2 to that round. So 19 there.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, that hits.
So you now want a 4d4. So 8 damage there on the aft.
Takes it back to that. Yeah. Okay then. Cool. And it doesn't fire back because it hasn't got any weapons in its rear location at all. So in which case, we're back to piloting roles. Oh, no, sorry. Engineering first.
Nothing to be done on engineering at the moment.
Okay, cool. Piloting roles. I get a 23. 28. I have to go first then. So I'll go 1, 2. Change direction. That's 2. 1, 2. That's 4. And change direction. 5, 6. So can you see which way he's going now? Yeah?
Yeah. He's heading that way.
Yeah, cool. Okay then. And yeah, so it's your go, pilot.
So that's 1, 2. So I'm going to move there. So that's 5 forward. Gonna turn, go 1, so that's 6. And then turn that way, so I'm now facing that way, but more behind it. And then he's going to call out Zaf. Still on our backside, Zaf.
Wonderful work, Pilot Sam. Wonderful work.
So we can just move however many squares we want to, up to a maximum of 10. We don't have anything, any acceleration or anything.
No, there's no acceleration in the game at all.
Okay, so again, we want to make a. We want to get BuddyBot to target the impulse engines.
Cool. Yeah. No, 11 he can't. He's finding it really hard to actually locate the engines on this weird ship at all. It looks completely strange.
So I will be doing the same again.
Yeah, cool.
Oh.
No, 11 does hit.
Oh, really? Gosh.
Yeah, just. That's his armor class.
And 4d4. 10. About time.
Can we only use the turret, or the rest automated or anything like that, or do they need?
No, I'm using the turret because it's the most powerful one. So where the turret's only 2d4, the turret's 4d4.
You can only, I think in
But it's only per arc, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, you can only use 1 arc at a time, or the turret.
I could use 2, but it would give me a -4 on my dice roll.
Okay, we are now, back to Helm.
So the other firing systems aren't automated then? They can't just be fired by the computer?
Oh, yeah, anything can be fired by the computer.
Right.
But it would have to, the gunner would have to, that's what he's actually doing. It can't automate. Oh, I see what you mean. No, it has to have a gunner in charge of it. Yeah.
Okay.
You could come up and jump on a gun.
Okay, so anybody have any Helm phases?
Engineering phase, is
Yeah,
it?
engineer, sorry, yeah.
I can't divert power to the guns, can I?
No, all your weapons are all your actions are in your sheet of paper.
Right, okay. In which case, yeah, nothing.
Okay, cool. Okay, in which case, let's have some pilot rolls. I get a 28. You get a 15, so you are going first.
It's like a game of chess now.
It is. I think the pilot has the most influential role. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at my
Park up behind him.
Well, I could understand that if it had to move a certain amount of squares, but it can just move 1 square.
The Law Seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can I. But the trick is now, say for example, if the Law Seeker just moved here, then I'm moving next.
Yeah, and he can get
which
wherever
means
he wants to.
I can then move around you, or I can then bring my guns to bear. And just the same as if Sam pilots it straight ahead to say here, I would then just move one square, so I'm at the rear. And I quite like it when, and that's why it's the person who's actually, if you lose the roll, you have to move first, because that's actually the disadvantage.
Yeah.
Whereas in like aero tech, you had acceleration, so you had to move X amount of spaces to decelerate and so on. So this you don't.
Right. I want to try. Well, Sam's going to try and back off. I think create a bit of distance.
So you're
He as he gets behind this position we've just fired, and he thinks, "Ooh." He kind of makes a dither at the. He makes a mistake in the pilot and thinks, "I've just given him the advantage. I need to get out of this place."
Okay,
so he's going to try and back off.
So that's DC 10 plus 2 times your class starship tier.
Okay.
So that'll be a DC of 14.
So I want to do 120. So is that just done through the? Is that done
You
through?
just roll your piloting roll.
I'll just roll my piloting.
It's just that your DC is 14.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can move up to half your speed direction of the aft, going backwards without facing.
Yeah. So that's 1, 2. There we go. And you just so as Sam makes that mistake previously and he goes, you just hear a shit. Okay,
Okay.
He musters just shit.
So
And quickly twiddles the knobs and we suddenly start flying backwards.
So this is the endless threnody now. It has to move 2 before it can turn, no matter what. So it goes 1, 2. It then moves forward. It moves this other 2. That's 4. Turns again. And then moves its next 2. Okay, excellent. Okay, in which case we're down to gunners.
What's the ranges, or are there no ranges?
Yeah, you don't need to worry about it.
Right. Okay, so we'll go for the same gun again, the turret. Oh, 10.
That
That's a
misses.
miss.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
It's the range, you see. It's the range.
it misses nicely, but I think my laser, my light laser cannon is now able to bear on you. So just needs to be that. So that's 22 on your forward shield. Was that higher than your armor class?
Yes, armor class was
Sorry,
13, I
yes.
think it was.
Yeah. Okay.
13.
So this is 2d4 coming in. Take 5 points off your front shield,
Yep, shield's down to 50%.
and that's the end of the at the end of the round. So back up to the top, engineers.
So Dave's going to flick a couple of switches on his console, and he's going to divert power to the targeting
Cool.
computer.
Engineer roll. What's your DC?
My DC will be 14.
14. Cool. Go for it. Yeah, nice. Which will get your shields back up to maximum on your.
No, I'm diverting it to the targeting computer. So I'm diverting it to Buddy Station to give him a +2 skill increase.
Okay, so this is his plus. This has his plus. So that'll make it +4 now.
For when he targets the
Yeah.
the impulse engines.
Yeah, so he can do that now. We can get it out the way. 13.
I don't have his. I don't know what it is for the engineer to
Sorry.
target. Is it?
Science officer. DC is equal to 15 plus the tier. Yeah, no, nowhere. It's 15 plus, so he's nowhere near it. Yep. Okay then. This is now pilots. Pilot rolls.
Okay.
I get 25. Move that law seeker. We'll do the end of this round, guys, and then we'll have a break because we're way past the break. Yeah.
When does the captain's turn come in? Anytime.
Yeah, the captain can actually act anytime he wants.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get everybody familiar with their roles rather than bringing other people in.
Mm-hmm. After you've done something, sorry, just quickly, after you've done something, does it remain like that, or do you need to do it again the next? So, for example, I've diverted power to the targeting system this last
You've just
round.
done it for that
It's
time.
just for that
yeah.
round. It's not until I divert it back.
No.
Right.
The system's not that complicated for that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So Sam's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. And then he's gonna start swinging her around towards come to that way, and then that's it.
You hear Dave at his console when he sees the maneuver coming up on his screen. He sort of like makes a strangling sound.
Yeah, just to let you know, you can pass across a ship's another ship. It's assumed that you are at a different height, but attacks for opportunity do occur in space as well. Okay, so that's the Law Seeker is done. So this is the Endless Serenity going. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And it will stay there. You're now in its front firing arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with our fund, which is at 50.
Okay, so let's do. Do you want Buddy to roll his computer skill?
Did I do my thing? Did it miss me out?
You diverted power at the beginning.
Yeah, and then Buddy rolled for that as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he's already rolled for once.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So we're down to firing now. Then. Yeah.
Okay.
Can the gunner call shot, or does it have to be done by the?
The gunner has his things. He can do.
All I can do is gunnery phase push, which is what I'm going to do in a second, and shoot gunnery phase, and that's it. So shoot a single turret or a single arc, or fire 2 weapons for a -4 penalty.
Yeah. So are you just firing off your front gun, your turret gun? Yeah.
So I'm going to fire 2 with a -4 penalty for each.
Okay. So which two guns are you firing? Your front laser.
Turret and the front laser.
Okay.
Yeah.
So turret first, then, please. So -4 to the roll.
17 -4, so that should be a hit.
13, yeah.
And then front laser, that's a miss.
Yeah. Okay then. So roll your turret damage.
Is 11, and that's going to be on your front, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't have any shield, so it doesn't matter. However, this is going to be coming onto your front shields. 17 to hit.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a hit.
Right, this is my heavy laser. You take 15 points of damage onto your front shields.
She's come through, Captain. There's 10 points come through.
So 10 points to take your shield out, so your shield's down to 0, and 5 points come off your total hit point.
No. There's the full 10 points bleeding through onto my... Because we only had 5 on the front, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'd already taken 5.
Okay, yeah.
And 10 points comes off where, sorry?
Your hit points. The ship's hit points.
Oh, there they are. Sorry, yes, I couldn't see there from...
Okay, and we will have a quick break there, as the Law Seeker looks like it's been slightly bruised and battered at the moment. So we will be back in about 10 minutes. So go away and get yourself a drink, and we will be back shortly. Just 1 second. I've been thinking about a design for my channel. You have to remember, I'm not an artist or a creative person. I have the programs, but not the expertise. I don't have the money to hire a graphic or concept designer, or to take the time off work to attend art classes or creative retreats. So I had to come up with something myself. It had to represent my channel and me. It had to be easy and yet adaptable. And so, after much thought and crunches up of pieces of paper, I came up with the following design. It's not detailed, it's not graphically stunning, it's not colourful, it's not complex. It's simple because it reflects me and my skills. What is it? Well, to represent me in Wills, it's just an eye.
I can't break the chain. Can't break the chain.
Okay, so everyone's back. So we're still in the middle of the space battle. So, and I think we've just finished that round, yeah. So the Endless Threnody has taken some hits. It's got no shields up, and the Law Seeker, the one down at the bottom of the map, that's the character's spacecraft that has got no forward shields now. Is that correct?
Correct.
No forward shield and taking a bit of damage.
And taking a bit of damage.
Yes, we have a breach, though. We have a breach.
Okay.
Just a scratch.
Cool. So let's start on the next round. So engineer first.
Okay, so seeing his instruments and that we've just lost the forward shield, Dave is going to fiddle around with a couple of sliders and press a button to stop the warning klaxon going off, and he's going to try to divert power to the forward shields. So I will have a dice roll of difficulty of 14 for this.
Yeah, cool.
And he just makes it so you see the forward shield go up to 70%, still showing an amber.
So that's up to 7 on that
7 on
roll.
the, yeah.
Okay, the captain turns round to Buddy and says, Mr. Buddy, can you please do your best and try to target those shields? And Buddy gets an additional +2 to his roll from encouraging from the captain. And that actually did it, so that's 21. So therefore, the target system is on course now. The next attack made by your starship hits the enemy's score and scores a critical hit on a natural roll of 19 or 20. So gunners, watch your rolls, because it's not just a critical now. Cool. Piloting rolls. That's the 8 one. Yeah, I get the 15, so I'm going first. So it goes 1, 2 turns, 3, 4 turns. Oh, hang on, 3, 4 turns. Yeah, 5. 6. Right, Gunnar, you get your first attack of opportunity as I move out of your square.
That's going to be just on my side. My turret won't count, will it? So it'll be just my side fire.
Okay.
Is that right? Or can I use my turret for target of opportunity?
As far as I was concerned, I hadn't said otherwise, unless you know something.
No, that's fine. We'll go for that. So that's turret for that. And then
Do me some damage.
of his 11.
Excellent. And then pilot, you're moving yours if you wish.
Yeah, just checking something. Ship's dead. Cool. So, seeing that our opposing ship has just done that, he's going to try and flip and burn as a movement.
Cool.
So I've got to make a piloting roll with a DC of 19.
Nice.
What happens if you failed something like that?
I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you in a second.
Yeah, so that's been failed by 5. So there's a fail, and then there's a fail bar of 5, etc., etc. So which maneuver did you do?
Flip and burn. So if you fail this check, your starship moves forward half its speed and doesn't rotate. So I move forward 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, cool.
So Sam goes, "I've got an idea," and it's like tries to do it. You see his tongue goes out just at the moment when he does it, and he just mistimes activating the thruster to flip it on end 180, so it's going in reverse direction, and you just hear, "Oh bugger!"
Cool.
Stop.
Yeah, so we're down to gunners. I
Yes,
can't fire.
Zath is looking at his consoles and trying to target the ship and going, "Yes, Sam, that was a most interesting move." And then fires a turret. Oh, there we go.
That hits, but it doesn't actually hit the engines, but it does now because it needs a 19 or 20, and that's -9. Yeah.
Does that continue on?
No,
or
it
is
has
just
to be.
one round?
It has to be redone because everything's moved out the way now. Excellent. So that's the end of that round. So back engineers.
What's happened to the shield? Does that go back down now to?
It's stationary. Shields regenerate out of combat.
Right. Okay, so seeing that we've sort of like overshot our mark, Dave wants to divert power to the main engines.
Cool.
So again, that will be a 14 engineering roll. So once again, he sort of like lowers some of the power, and all of a sudden you see the maximum speed of the ship increase. So it can now move 12 squares or 12 movement points for this round.
Cool. That's nice. So now we're on to piloting rolls. 17.
28.
Okay, I'll go first. 1, 2. Turn. 3, 4. Turn. 5, 6. Okay, go for it.
Cool. So I can move 12. So that's 11. Turns that way in a sharp angled turn. So that's.
Which way were you travelling then?
Hang on. So I was here. Like
It was
this.
travelling north.
That's right. Yeah.
I was travelling north. So I've taken 1 forwards.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've got to do before I can turn. So then I'm going to turn to go southeast. Is that right?
No, because if you turn, you'll go northwest, won't you? You've turned 2 facing there.
All right. Okay. So you can only do 1 facing at a time. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
that's 1.
yeah. So I've now turned to that direction. There we go. So that's 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then you hear
You hear
Sam
Dave
go,
doing another strangling noise as the forward part of the ship with hardly any shields.
goes into my port firing range. Thank you. My port. Excellent. Okay then. We're down to. Hang on. The captain will encourage Buddy again. So here we go. Yeah, so he's managed to find the engines, gunner. So Buddy says engines targeted. So it'll be down to you
Buddy.
on the roll. Okay then. Yeah. So now firing time. You doing 1 or 2?
Just 1.
Okay. I think that's your weapon.
Yes. D20 plus it's the same. So Oh, show it to you again.
Yeah. Yeah, it hits.
And then 10.
Cool. This is Gunner fights back. That's only +7. An 8 and misses it, and it's just sort of like, this is just a light laser that light laser cannon that fires off you as you come back, as you try to turn around to get behind. And Helm, engineer.
Is it engineer? Okay, so this time Dave is going to divert all auxiliary power to the ship's weapons.
Okay, cool. DC?
Yeah, will be 14.
14?
My DC, I think, is always 14.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
3.
What does that do to the weapons?
Any roll of 1 is classed as a 2.
Cool. Okay then, so that means it won't fail. Because some people, say for example, 1 add 9 would make 10, which would mean you miss, but because it's a 2 now, it'll make 11 and it would hit. Yeah, cool.
It's just for damage.
Oh, for damage, sorry. Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Okay then, piloting Helm now. I got a 10, so I'm moving first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Okay, so
Stath's going to say over the comms to Sam, Sam, I'm using the turret, so it doesn't matter which way we're facing, just keep out of his firing arc. That would be lovely, please, sir.
okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turns that way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And go. There you go. Got her off her ass again.
Cool. Okay.
Lovely job.
Gunners,
Lovely job.
off you go.
I'm sorry, Sam, to let you down there, but I seem to have sneezed.
I mean, I set you up for the perfect shot then again.
Okay.
And,
Going on to engineer phase.
Engineer phase. Dave's going to put power to the targeting computer, which would then give Buddy, if he makes it, which he does, a +2 for his roll.
Okay, so the captain has spent his turn encouraging Buddy on the targeting computers. He gets 23 on his roll, which means that it's targeted onto the ship's engines again, and therefore we're on to pilot rolls. 23.
Ooh, 11.
Go for it.
Okay. Move 3 forward.
Just so you know, our forward shield is only on 3 points because we have to evenly distribute the points to the various quadrants, with any remaining going onto the front quadrant. So it would be on 4 points.
But if the other ones are full, wouldn't that mean they go into...
3.
Does it have to do with that all the time?
I just having a look I was just reading what else I could do.
Yeah, because the science officer has something called balance, which
Right.
is a role that allows him to do that. So I don't think it can do it automatically.
Right.
Is it in your engineer thing?
Yeah, I was just reading it then. So if you send
Which
if
one are
you send
you?
it to the shield, restore an amount of shield point equal to 5% of the PCU rating of the starship's power core, up to the shield's maximum value. Full stop. Evenly distribute the restored shield points to all 4 quadrants, putting any excess
Yeah. So
Sorry, putting any excess where? Sorry.
in the forward.
Yeah, so what it's saying is that you have to, your 7 points that you give back have to be evenly distributed, the restored shield points to all 4 quadrants, and then anything that's excess is to put onto the forward shields.
Right.
So-
So, if they're already full, then it goes.
Then all the, so it's right what's been happening. Yeah. Are we done?
Pilot's finished moving.
Oh, okay. And it's my go, isn't it? 1, 2. Oops. 3, 4. 5, 6. There we go. So we're starboard to your port, Gunner.
Attention, gunner! Don't sneeze again, please. You've got 4 arms. You only need 2.
I will. I'll endeavour to do my best, sir. I'll endeavour to do my best. Here we go.
I get a 27, which will hit you.
Oh.
Three points of damage to your
No,
port.
you've got a crit as well. What does that do? Does that?
Oh, I did.
You got a crit, yes. 3.
Yeah.
I'll take the 3 points off.
No, because I just do double damage to it. Oh
It's a
no,
sick
no,
book.
I actually I don't. That's a lie. I don't. You're right. I actually damage. Critical damage. A critical damage is scored whenever going to is a natural 20 on dice. Critical damage is scored whenever the target ship takes damage. And critical damage also. Can you roll for me, please, a D100? Doesn't matter who.
Go for it, Chugs.
Oh, hang on, I was on a different thing. Yeah, I'll do it. $75.
75. That has just hits your engines. So that is now. Crew actions involving the system take -2 to the penalty. So that's piloting and everything like that is now -2 as it hits your energy, and you take 3 points off your shield.
So it's that. The engines are malfunctioning now. Then are they?
I think they're glitched.
Right.
So the system isn't operating at peak performance anymore. And then it's malfunctioning, then it's wrecked. Okay. Did you do some damage?
No, I've not even rolled yet. Here we go.
Cool, that.
Oh,
13 hits.
and 11 damage. And no ones, so there's just
Yeah, that's gone now.
Oh, sorry, of course it has.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So engineering phase.
Okay, so this time Dave pops off the panel and he's there with his electronic screwdriver and he's going to try to hold the engine together.
Okay.
It's engineering check, DC 15 plus
two
yes.
times you, so that's 19. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 19 roll, and he does not succeed.
He does not succeed. Excellent. Hang on. Captain will add +2 to Buddy as he encourages him. But Buddy fails to target lock on the ship's engine, and all things are going downhill. Pilot roll, 18.
So because I've got -2 for this turn, haven't I?
Yeah.
Do I just take that out of the piloting misc, or manually take it off?
If you just roll your piloting scare and just put -2 in the misc, and then it'll just automatically roll it.
-2 in the misc. Okay.
Hey, you're going first.
Right.
Ooh. It's nice that you've got shields. I wish I had shields.
I know.
It's an extra thing to think about there for movement.
Yes, that left side's now bare,
Yeah,
and we don't want his front facing us.
At all.
So, yeah. He can turn 3 times as well in his movement, so...
I know that's why I'm
You know,
thinking.
it's so funny when you all talk about metagaming in Discord.
Oh no, we do this over comms.
Clubs.
Comms. I do believe, sir, he can shoot us in the rear.
Right. So move forward 1, turn. 2, 3. 6. Hang on, does the engine's damage do anything to my movement or not?
Hang on, how many, you were here to start off with, weren't you?
I moved 6. So
You were here. Where were you to start off with? Here.
there.
There.
1,
So 1,
2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7. Yeah.
Does it? Hang on, but
No.
the damage to the engine does do anything to my movement
No,
count?
just to your.
1. So that's 8, 9, 10. There you go.
Okay, cool. And then my turn. So I'll do the classic 1, 2. Bring it round. 3, 4. Bring it round, and I'm going to park it there. Right. You're in my front firing arc now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yes, that big beast, and you've got my rear.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
There we go.
Yeah. Fire away.
No.
Oh no.
I'm looking at the piloting and going, why?
I think 11 misses you. Does it?
It does, yeah.
It does.
Cool.
Exactly.
Right. So that's that round over with. So now
that's why.
we're back to engineer.
Okay, so I'm going to try to hold the system together. So I need a 19.
19. Cool.
My engineering roll.
Yes. Nice.
Dave gets a 27, so he finds the right thing, pulls out a little component and swaps it with another one, and you hear the power restored to the engine.
So that -2 now's removed, isn't
to
it? Yeah.
maneuverability, but only for this round.
Okay then.
At the end of
So no, I think things like that actually then does it. You know, it's like restoring a shield. You divert power to the restore shield. You don't have to redo it the next round.
no, I was just
Yeah.
it's just
Buddy gets the 27, so Does it just say for that round, for one round?
Yeah, it
Cool.
says...
Anyway, yeah, it's just one
says,
round then, yeah.
The system is treated as its critical damage conditions were 2 steps less severe for the rest of the round.
Yeah, and then does it say anything else after that?
In brackets, Rex becomes glitching and
Okay, cool.
system
For the rest of the round then. Okay then, Buddy makes his computer roll, so therefore, Gunners, you have, you can target the engine. This is pilot rolls now.
Right, so that -2 is no longer there.
27.
14.
Off you go.
Okay, so move forward 1, rotate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm still on 9. And I'm going to park her there.
Okay.
Can you do maneuvers mid movement?
Yeah, as long as you... Oh, you do the manoeuvre as part of your role, yeah.
Right.
Okay, this is my turn, isn't it? So that's 1, 2, 10... Oops. 3, 4, 10, 5, 6. Okay, Gunners.
Right, here we go. I'm going to hold my hands up and pray to my ancestors.
He got another crit.
You did, didn't you?
Oh, here we go. Can I do my roll first?
Yeah, do you well, yeah.
Well, it's a hit anyway. That's lucky. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so this is going off your starboard shields. 3 points off there. And do you want to roll a 1d100?
Yeah. Oh, go on. Chugs, you do it again. You can be the crit master.
A different thing. Give me 2 ticks.
Oh, sorry.
Is that 11 points damage for me? Yeah. Cool, thank you. 15. That's hit the sensors, so condition applies to all science officers' actions. Okay, so he'll be at -2 for everything. Okay, yeah. Okay, this ship looks quite battered at the moment. It's got like bits of bones flaking off all over the place. Okay, engineering.
Okay, so Dave, this time round, is going to try to... it was the computer system last time that got hit, wasn't it?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so Dave is going to try to patch the computer system. So how many... What is it? Is it glitching or malfunctioning?
It's just glitching, yeah. It's
okay,
at,
so
it's at
one,
-2.
So
Yeah.
it's 1 actions to patch it, and my my DC is 10 plus 2 times the starship.
So that's 14 then.
That's 14. Number increasing the DC. The number of actions required can be reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1 action by increasing the DC to. What's the point of holding it together then? Why not always just patch it?
No idea.
Right. Okay. I'll patch it.
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
Nice. So Buddy can make his roll just normal, can't he?
Yeah.
He'll be back to that. He doesn't target it. So pilot rolls next. 25.
You're at
Oh,
-2.
I'm at -2. I need to re-roll that then.
Oh, it's all right because it doesn't matter because I got 25, so
Okay.
you can go first. I'm just going to move my map up a bit.
Pilot Sam, I would advise you that rear, port, and aft, port, and front shields are down to 70%.
Gotcha.
So there's only starboard that's at maximum.
Cool.
You can all see the Law Seeker sheet, can't you?
Yeah, I haven't got it open because I haven't got enough space.
I've got about 20 windows open at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I haven't got enough space. So I'm going to actually, this time, I'm going to use stunt action.
Cool.
I'm going to try and do evade so that I can move and act as normal. As long as I succeed, we get a +2.
Yeah.
+2 to armor.
Yeah, so it'll be
Armor.
14 for your piloting
Yeah.
roll.
It will be. I don't want to hurt.
Yeah, that's cool. So your arm class go up to +2 at the end of this for the rest of this round. So just for people who are asking there, if the fail had come through by 5 or more, the ship's moved as normal, but there would be a -2 penalty.
So that's 1, 2.
You're doing evade though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Isn't evade a set maneuver?
No.
Right. Okay.
No, I can move and act and turn as normal, but because I'm doing it in such an odd, I think
It's like he's jiggling his wings.
I didn't know why
around,
it
so
gave a
it's
starting position and an end position in the thing. That was all. That's why I was asking. Can you do it mid-flight? Because that would mean that any action could then be just classed as an evade action if you didn't have to follow a set movement.
Oh, I see what you're saying on the sheet there. It's got like a one, two.
No.
So it's 2 forward and then 2 at.
Okay, then just while you're discussing it, evade. The ship moves up to its speed and can turn as normal, but it gains +2 circumstances to its AC and TL until the start of the next round.
Right.
So it doesn't have a set movement at all. It just moves. The disadvantage of it is that if the roll is failed, then it wouldn't go well for you.
Yeah, we have a -2 to our armor, basically. Oh, I forgot where I was now. I was back here, wasn't I? So that's 1. 4, so that's 5. 6. Yeah, and I'm gonna take one more there, that's it. I'm gonna
Okay.
park her there.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay then. Go for it, Gunner.
That's brilliant. You're on our starboard side, but I'm going to still use a turret.
Yeah.
Oh, an
20.
18. Just one. Oh, we don't have the crit this turn, do
It
we?
would have done. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. He 7 points.
Yeah, please. Oh, do it. Oh no, one thing was only for one turn, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
that's fine.
This is my roll. One less. 11, I think, misses
No,
you.
you missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a 15 to beat this turn.
Yeah, cool. Okay then, that's the end of that round. So we're back up to engineering.
Okay, so Dave's going to try to divert some of the power to the shields again.
Okay.
Am I at -2 because the engine was it the whole of the engineering that was hit?
No, sensors were hit.
but before that,
No, just engines, wasn't it? Not engineering.
Oh yes, you'll be at -2 then. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So,
unless you patch it every time.
Yeah, but no, I can't. I can't patch it every time at the moment. So I'm going to be my DC for this is going to be 16.
Cool. Yep, that
That's
hits.
28. So we've got 7 points.
To distribute on the after.
Oh,
So it fit.
So
Even if
it's
sorry.
7 points. It will distribute. What's your damage? What's your shield?
70% in each. So there's if I put 2 on each, and then there's 1 to go on the
Forward shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
You've by the way, you've turned. Yeah, you've noticed it. It's fine.
Okay, and
So-
dice.
sorry, Archie,
Pilot rolls.
I know.
15.
16.
Cool.
16? Yeah, 16.
Is that
You
with your
take,
-2
2.
because of the
That,
engine?
yeah, my -2 is still missing. Yeah, I'm still missing my -2.
So is that with the -2 then? Yeah.
That's with the -2.
Cool. You must have a huge pilot skill.
It's got 10.
Well, it's not now, but yeah,
It must be 10. Yeah.
it's currently on 8. Yeah, because it's normally 9, and then I get a +1 because of the ship class. The ship has a +1 to all piloting skills. So that's 10, so I'm down to 8 with the -2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because mine's easy to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh. It's just a shot of opportunity.
No, only when I leave.
Ah.
So then when we leave, you have a shot
Yes.
of opportunity.
I certainly do.
Very well played.
It was very well played. I don't know if I want to do what I want to do. My Gus is doing.
Can you go backwards?
Yeah, and if he goes backwards, the first square would be fine. But once he moved from that second square out, then the attack of opportunity would actually.
Yeah. So he's still getting attack of opportunity.
We'd have to, yeah.
Well, you don't have to move.
I'm saying nothing.
I know.
And turn my mic off.
Crash.
Not crash. Thinking.
Oh, right. No, you weren't moving. I thought maybe.
No, I was in deep concentration reading my sheet. So you see Sam's eyes flicker all around the monitors, like keeping an eye out on everything. And he slams the forward thrusters on, so we just go and just stop in midair.
Okay, so he's okay then. So attack rolls.
So yeah, I'm not moving.
Attack rolls for gunners now.
Oh, please. It's a hit.
That hits. Yeah.
And 10.
Cool.
Now, this is going to hurt.
Oh,
It's right on the nose. Right on the. Ours is 13 as well.
That hits then.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is my front. I think you're in my front firing arc.
Yeah.
Do you know? I think I rolled this wrong last time. Oh no, I didn't. 4d8. That's I rolled it right.
Yep.
22.
Right, where are we? And that's coming through on my starboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got 12.
I just had to turn upside down there. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got 12 bleed through. Ooh.
You done it?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and at that, the engines on the endless Threnody there's a sudden explosion from the back, and the endless Trinity is listing and drifting slightly away. There's no return fire coming from it. It's obviously that it's been taken out. It actually took out by your last shot by the gunner, but of course everything happens simultaneously. So just so you know, it had an arm class of 11, and it had 100 armor points. Okay,
Nice.
so you've done quite well, but it had no shields, and it had no weapon on the aft
Rear.
at all, and it has no thing. So it really was a
An easy
game.
It was just pounding, basically.
A game of manoeuvring.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
so it's only shields which are locational. Armor points aren't the same, so you don't
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just got a lump of them.
X amount of.
It just has like 100 hit points. Or
Yeah.
you? How many hit? Do you have 85?
No, we have 55 and got down to 33.
Yeah, 55 and 30. Yeah. So that's it. It's a bit like, so it's not like Mithras when you have hit locations. It's the same when you're in hand-to-hand combat. You're literally there's no hit locations. It's literally blast away, and until it goes right down. Okay, yeah. So the ship, your ship is stationary in any case because Sam's brought it to a dead halt, and the Threnody is sort of like drifting slightly, and that's it.
Okay, well, Zath will look at his targeting computer and say, Captain, the enemy ship is immobilized and static. Would you like us to dispatch or leave?
Okay, so the captain sort of like looks round at you all, and you can see that the endless Threnody is sort of like drifting off through a viewpoint, and this enormous corpse ship, starship, bristling with bone spurs, and that baneful red lens, it seems almost like swollen and bloody, and there's sort of like crackles of dark energy that leaps across the bone spurs, discharging from the ruined ship, sort of like necromantic power source, and then with a almost like making you jump. Captain Arvin speaks over the communications to you all and says, excellent work, people. The endless Threnody is incapacitated, but not pulverized. I therefore need you to board that vessel, access the main computers at the bridge, and recover the coordinates of the missing Starfinder's vessel's crash site. That energy signal looks dangerous, and those discharges can damage the hull. So we're going to dock at the cargo bay at the rear end of the ship, and you'll make your way forward to the bridge. Wear spacesuits, please, because remember, these ships do not have life support and are often exposed to space. Any questions?
Can Dave go over to Buddy's system and onto the computers and tap a couple of buttons, and can he run a scan to see how many life forms are showing on the ship?
Yes, by all means.
I don't have his. I don't have the science of the computer thing, so I don't know my target number.
Yeah, if you just roll it, I can tell you.
Yeah. Computer. Dave gets 20.
No life force.
Dave turns around and says, "Yeah, there's no life force, but then again, they are all dead anyway, aren't they?"
Well, that's the thing. It's a dead ship full of the dead. Makes sense, really. Sam says as he's like casually, he's less tense now, and he's casually flying the ship round to dock.
The the space suits. Do we suffer anything from having them?
Well, all armor automatically, if you're wearing armor, that's automatically designed to go, has basic protection against vacuums in any case.
That's what I was getting
so
at.
you only need to wear a space suit, sorry, if you're wearing no armor at all, which I think most of you are wearing armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, anything else that you would like to ask?
No, I'm just moving it to dock.
How do I get out
Are
of
we
this?
able to scan the ship to give us an idea of layout?
No.
Right. Okay. So no, nothing else to.
If you ask captain, the captain, if you sort of like say, what are we likely to expect on the ship, the captain says it's quite hard to say because the information about Corp's fleet ships is quite sparse. He does say that he would expect that any surviving, or should I say remaining crew members, might try to make a last stand, and they might have rigged traps as well, so be ready for anything.
How about gravity over there?
Well, it's assuming you'll soon know once you get there, but at the moment the engine looks quite beaten up, so fingers crossed that the gravity is there, otherwise you will be fighting in zero gravity.
So Sam's going, after piloting and setting the ship up to dock, he's going to lock the controls in position, turn to the captain and say, "Permission to lead a boarding party, sir."
Yes, he's said already you're all going across. So once you've docked, then if you've got no other questions, then you're ready to proceed on to the Endless Threnody.
So with that answer, Sam's going to sort of stand a little bit taller, and he's going to sort of start marching his way down towards the airlock.
Okay, so Buddy will not be coming with you. Does somebody have a computer skill?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Dave does.
Yeah, so Buddy won't be there, but the rest of you will. Okay, so you head round down to the airlock, and you go across. And the first thing but just to get you there, Sam, you need to make a piloting check, please.
Oh, I've actually got to roll to get to me.
Okay. Yeah, so just to let you know, because the reason you had to have one, just so you know, is that it's quite tricky parking this next to the ship because of all the bone spurs sticking out on it. And if you had failed the roll, you would actually have taken your own ship would have taken hull damage from that. But as you managed to pilot it in nicely, and then you are attached to the cargo bay. I presume that you all got your armor on, etc. And yes. the doors open. You'll be pleased to know that there is gravity on the Endless Threnody. However, there's no life support, and there's also no lights at all.
Wonderful. In which case, Zaf will hold one torch that he's got in one hand, a rifle in the other, and a hammer in the other.
Cool.
So Sam will press whatever button it is on his armor to make it into so he's now got an oxygen suit over the top. He's going to draw his I don't get the name of it. He's going to draw his azimuth laser pistol, and then with his other hand he's going to have and he's going to hold it out, sort of like an easy grip like this. And he's going to have in his left hand he's going to have a torch flashing out, so it's holding it under the barrel of the gun, so you can move it in one action.
Dave is just stood there at the back.
Okay, so Zath, are you taking the lead as you go in, or is Sam taking the lead?
Sam takes one look at this hulking four-armed thing and
Sorry.
goes, "After you."
Dear Sam, would you mind keeping an eye up at front for any traps or any thing that looks unusual so I don't step on it?
Of course.
Lovely, thank you.
Okay,
yes,
Sam. Yeah. So Sam, what's?
I think if we could go to abreast, that'd be wonderful, and then Sam could keep an eye out for anything that's looks suspicious.
Suspicious other sorts of like electric wires or gas wires or anything that powers it. So any damage from the fight or any set deliberate traps or ambushes, I'm looking out for those three things.
Okay, so therefore, just roll for me, please, your perception check.
There it is. 21, sir.
Okay. So you head off. So Zath and Sam, you're in the lead, and then Dave, you're coming up behind them, and you go into what appears to be a cargo bay, and it's mostly empty, and there's sort of like 3 wide openings up ahead, leading into the ship's sort of like central body. So labelled from the left hand side as you're facing it, 1, 2, and 3. So those go up. Yeah. There seems to be a whole load of a few crates in here that seem to be bashed open, and the tops are off it, and there's some sort of like plastic containers, almost like those barrel shape things. But apart from that, the whole cargo bay appears to be empty.
The exits going out of it, are the doors blocking it, or
No, they're completely open. You can see that there are some doors that seem to be the sliding door type, but they're actually open in the open position. You also know that notice the actual hull inside. It's not metallic. It's actually bone. So it's sort of like metal and bone sort of like interlaced into each other. So right the way through it. You also do notice that there are gaps every now and again. And there's emergency force fields in place to stop you being sucked out. But there is all your readings read that there's no life support system in operation.
Stood where he is. Are these exits all in one area, or does one go off to the left, one goes off to the right, and one goes straight off?
They all look like they go straight ahead.
Okay, so Dave wants to detect magic in a cone out in front of him, and trying to take into account these exits as well. It's a 60-foot range on it, so
okay, cool.
He wants to be close enough to be able to. That's what it does.
Yeah, is it a concentration? Yeah, 1 minute per level. Yeah. So are you keeping it up and running?
Yes, just what happens for a concentration spell? I've just cast it now. Do I just get, or do I need to concentrate on it for the minute?
I think you can concentrate. You've casted it, so via concentration, you can do it for 1 minute per level before you have to recast the spell.
Right. Okay. So I will keep it going for a
minute.
A minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I lead, or are you all right?
Sorry. We'll move into the room while looking around. Zath is there with his torch there. And
yeah, you're in the cargo bay, and we've done that, and now there's 3 exits out.
We'll go for the right exit.
Is there any signs over them?
No.
In fact, scratch that. We'll go for the middle exit. We'll go for the centre.
Okay, I'm just popping you on now.
I'd rather have more metal and bone between me and space, even though it doesn't make much of a difference in here.
Wow, we've blown the hell out of this ship, or you blew the hell out of this ship. So there could be holes anywhere.
Great.
Not that it makes a difference because there's a vacuum anyway.
This is very true.
And just watch your footing because all of a sudden you might find yourself going for a long drop.
Yes, I think you'll find that I'm very agile.
Failing that, you've got 4 hands, so you've got 4 chances to grab hold of something on the way out.
My forearms go.
Yeah.
I'm just popping your light on.
So Sam was saying all of that whilst he was sort of like still down, so like more of it's kind of like a classic combat stance, is like slightly bent at the legs and hunched over the forward of his pistols. He's moving around and flashing like this, looking around the corridor the whole time.
So you should be on the map now. You should all have 30 foot of light with your torches at the front, and
I take it the light from the torches disrupts any dark vision I have.
well, dark vision allows you to see in dim light, so probably as the torches pan around you can probably see it. What's your dark vision range?
60 foot.
Okay, there you go. So 2 things happen as you get into this area. The first thing that happens, Dave, is that your detect magic spell, which is still just running, because there was a huge wait in the cargo bay. Once you actually get up here for the few sort of like seconds of the last minute before it turns itself off, you definitely sense that there's magic in all this area, in the corridors, on the side of the corridors, over the top of it. As you move up to it, you also, all of you get a feeling of not only foreboding, but also you suddenly feel very colder than you would naturally feel without any life support. Sorry.
Am I able to? Would a mysticism skill check give me the form of the magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what my DC is, but
Yeah, it's necrotic.
Okay. So Dave's going to say there's definitely some type of magic involved here.
Good to know.
It might even be held together by magic,
Most interesting.
but it also means that they might be working on another way to jump. We don't want to be on here if they do.
That's a good question. So I think we should probably try and take out their engines if we can, their drift drive if we can. Because surely they can just activate that at any time.
Well, let's stick with the mission
No,
first.
they don't have a drift drive, don't they?
That's right, it was damaged, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unless they've fixed it.
Unless they used necrotic magic to force a way through into drift.
Yeah. I think if they fixed it, they wouldn't be floating in drift. It's not the best place to drift. I wouldn't want to.
No. Right, let's push up slowly. Take it by the numbers. Checking the floors, walls.
Is there any computer systems anywhere or consoles, anything like that?
Yeah, make a perception roll.
Perception. Oh.
Yeah, there is. You can see one. It's just here in the light at the moment, just in the middle of this corridor.
Cool.
Let's push forward down the middle. again, I want to be looking at everything sides.
Okay, I just need to know what Dave is doing. Dave, are you now taking up
Dave's
position
just
there?
he's having a look backwards and forwards, and he'll wait till they get just a bit further before he heads down.
Okay.
He'll start heading down now. He'll keep an eye out behind as he goes, but he's just looking around.
Okay,
So
so just stop there, because this is when you notice something. At this point, you see coming down the corridor, almost like jogging. Just need to see how far forward your light goes, so I can see where. Yeah, they're just coming into your light now. You can probably just see this one. Yeah. They're running down the corridor towards you. You see what appears to be two skeleton looking, like, well, they are skeletons and they're crew members. You can see that they've got officers' robes on, and, you know, sort of like outfits on, and they seem to be running down towards you guys, and they, as previously mentioned, they seem to have no worries and no fear about actually coming down to attack. So let's have, let me just pop it up.
There it is. I was about to say, where's the initiative button? But I found it. It's fine. All is good.
Okay, and then let's have some initiative rolls.
could I activate one of my, or use one of my class skills before, or the automatic are the class skills? So I've got.
It depends what it is.
It's rapid response. It's got EXE in brackets, and it says you gain +4.
Yeah, it's automatically on. You just add it on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
Da, da, da.
Oh, yeah, that's why I put the +4 in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you had it on.
Did I click my token? Yes.
No.
No. Sorry.
Okay. What? 16.05. There you go.
Thank you.
What's the scale, please?
It should be right. Each square is 5 foot.
5 foot. Thank you.
Yeah. So at the beginning of this round, you all take 1 hit point of cold damage. So take that off right now at the beginning of the round, and then Sam, you're up.
Hang on, I'm just looking for hit points. Okay.
Does that come off our stamina first?
Stamina, yeah.
Oh god, where's stamina? Is that SP?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Do we have ranges for weapons in this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be on your
Handouts. Actions in combat.
should be on. Is it not on your couch sheet with your weapon?
I'm looking. I'm sorry. I'm just looking. Azimuth and ranged.
I don't know whether or not it does have ranges.
Oh, range 80. Is that it? Range.
Cool.
Name.
Yeah.
Hang on,
So that's maximum range. Yeah. So it's in range. It doesn't. You don't have negatives at it. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was just getting confused because it's the box and then the name underneath. Okay. Yeah. So that is 80. So let's have a look at combat sections. So Sam's gonna. So he's already got his pistol raised, but he's going to raise it slightly higher to his eye, and he's going to try and squeeze off a round from his azimuth laser pistol.
Okay. Cool.
at this one, the only one I can see. This one. So then it's where's it? So I just roll the ranged attack button.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's that? Is that a 10?
That's 10. Yeah.
And is it energy or kinetic?
It's energy.
Yep, that hits.
And if you roll the one next to your rather than rolling your ranged attack one, if you roll the one next to your weapon, it will actually do whether or not it's a crit, etc.
So do I roll that now?
No.
I just need your damage now.
So how do I roll that? Is that just a roll?
Well, roll that now and it'll roll the damage, but in future use that.
Oh, I use that button. Okay, sorry.
2 points damage.
Yeah.
Okay. There's my hit points. Oh, there you go. Yeah. 2 points. Thank you. Excellent. Dave, you're up.
Dave's going to delay his action.
Cool.
To see whether or not if anything comes round here, then he's going to.
Okay. Zaf, you're up.
I am going to bring my rifle that's already in my hand up to fire and fire at the one I can see.
You can probably move into melee weapon range with it.
Oh.
I'm just thinking about your. I don't know what your movement is, but I was just thinking about your race rather than shooting.
Yeah, I know. No, it is more of an honor thing, but with skeletons, you wouldn't really. But
you wouldn't really do what?
Yeah, so I get an extra 10-foot move anyway. So I will move.
At least with a skeleton, you don't have to do any work on it for a trophy.
If you cast each square is 5 foot, so you can just move it via the squares.
So I'll go there.
Cool.
And I will take a swing.
Yeah, you can take a swing. That's kinetic, isn't it? No,
that is.
That hits.
No, it's not. Sorry.
5 points damage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Which actually kills that one nicely, and then this one moves into you, and this is his. He hasn't got any weapons. He's just fighting with his claw. So he's just sort of like clawing into you. 8 probably doesn't get past your armor class. No. Okay. So back to Sam.
Cool. So seeing that Zath is well and truly engaged in that one, he's gonna flip round and call out to Dave. Said, "I can keep an eye out back if you want to have a go at that console." And then he's going to delay his action.
Okay. Dave, you're up.
Dave's going to keep an eye on here for anybody coming round.
Oh, sorry. We had to start of a new round, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so you all take 1 point of damage. Right. Zath.
I will bring my hammer to bear on the next one. The
cool.
One that's
moving.
And 10.
10 misses. And this guy rakes with you with its claw, gets 24.
That's a critical. That's nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So is that 2 dice that I rolled there for?
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
Double damage.
So 4, 9, 11 points of damage.
Oh.
Slashing damage.
Which goes through my stun. And 2 points go onto my hit points.
No.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good roll 20 just.
I don't know. Some people, it looked like you left and came back again, so I just thought you might be rebooting. So that's the end of that round. Yeah. And so beginning of next round, yeah. Yeah, so you all take 1 point of damage.
What's the damage coming from? Can we tell?
The coldness.
Right.
Can you remember when you came in? As you came into this area, I said that it's cold, not like the actual. It's colder than without any atmosphere. It's almost as
Chilling
if.
to the bone.
Yeah, good expression. Sam, you're up.
Cool. He's going to stay where he is, and he's going to delay his action.
Okay,
He's keeping an eye out down the corridor.
Dave.
Okay, Dave's going to turn round. He's going to use a quick action, a swift action
Swift
to
action, yeah.
pull his laser rifle from his back, and he's going to fire at that skeleton.
The one with Zaf in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then. Roll. 5 misses. Yeah. Zaf, you're up.
Looking at what this skeleton's just done to me, I'm going to heft my hammer sturdily and take a swing with a look of determination.
Nice. 20, not natural though, I don't think. It
Oh,
wasn't.
sadly.
No, unfortunate. But you do 9 points of damage.
Yep.
Which is enough to take that skeleton out.
So I'll grab the hammer and touch it to my forehead and then hold it again.
Cool. Yeah, so these two are sort of like down on the floor. They're sort of like out of it. And yeah, beginning of a new round, so you all take 1 point of damage.
Zath will look over to David and Sam and say, "Just to make you aware, chaps, I'm fading fast here."
Or to just running. And
Yeah.
Dave's going to start running down the to see whether can we see a door at the end?
And the corridor keeps going forward. Remember, I know your light's showing the edges of the corridor, but of course you can't actually see round there until you actually get there for obvious reasons.
How long to combat? Is it 5 seconds, something like that?
6 seconds, I think.
6
it is.
seconds.
Yeah.
So Dave's going to start running this way from where the skeletons came as quick as he can.
Yeah. So you run up to there. What's everybody else want to do?
So yeah, Sam will run to catch up, and then he'll go past a little bit, and he wants to stop just at the edge of the. I'm assuming this is as it is in the crossroad. He wants to pause at the end and just he wants to have a quick peek around to make sure nothing's happening.
Yeah. So as you look around, yeah, there are 4 more skeleton crew there, lurking and hiding in wait. So let's roll some new initiative, please. Oh, nice.
I know, I thought so.
Sorry, I did it again. I deserve that 10.
Right, let me just put it in descending order. Yeah, so the skeletons come in like so. So these are attacks coming off. So these are coming at you, Sam, first. So I'll go Sam, then Zaf. Sam, you're on. This is coming into kinetic energy armor class. 23 will probably hit, and that 20 will definitely hit. And so let's do your damage first. So this is the non-crit one for 5 points of damage,
Okay.
and then 8 points of damage from the next one.
Do I have any saving rolls or?
No, it's just combat. So one was a critical hit, and the other one. So as long as I've gone over your armor, then it comes in and it attacks you. And these are yours, Kath and Zaf. Sorry. 5 probably misses. 18.
18 just gets me.
Excellent. That's 5 points of damage.
Oh, that means. Oh.
Cool.
Thank you.
Are you down?
No, almost.
No.
Right.
Okay.
Question. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you said it's kinetic, so that's KAC, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
So how do I know what my armor rating is?
It automatically gets added onto it. So if it hits you, it's gone through your armor.
So your KAC will be a combination of your second skin armor plus your dexterity modifier.
So if you see, it'll say something like KAC. Mine says 15, which is 10 plus 2 armor plus 3 dexterity modifier.
Yeah, well, mine's exactly the same, which is 10 plus 4 armor and 1 dex.
Right. Okay. So do I take? Okay. No, I'm completely confused.
No,
How much have I taken?
It hit you. So,
yeah, I know it hit me,
so
but
you
I'm trying to
take
work out
off
the
your
damage.
stamina points and then off your hit points.
So off your SP and then your HP.
Okay.
So put your stamina points, whatever it is. What was it? What is it now?
So currently it's 3, but I haven't taken off any of this damage yet.
Right.
Your stamina point is 3.
That's what I've got left because we've been taking the.
Oh yes,
Awesome.
yeah. Sorry, I thought
So we've taken 4 lots of that. So that started off at 7.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's 3. And how much damage did you take?
4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 4 add 4 is 8.
8.
But it's 1d6 plus 1, the dice roll. So 1d6, the first one hit, and that was 4, plus 1 is 5.
Okay.
So that'll put your stamina points to 0 and your hit points will go down by 2.
Okay.
And then the next one was a 20 natural, so that was a critical hit, and that was a 4 was rolled, which is 5, plus a 2, which is rolled, which is 3, so that's another 8 points.
So how many hit points have you got?
None.
Okay, so Sam goes down in falls unconscious with the claw attacks.
I think what was confusing me, I was looking at the only armor at the time which I could see, which was down the bottom of the skills list, and I just had bonuses, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realise there was an armor thing up further up.
Yeah. Okay. So Sam's down. Dave, you're up. You can see the 2 skeletons in front of you, by the way.
Dave is going to move up to here, almost that he's straddling Sam's body, and as he's moving, the laser rifle that he was holding flips and goes back onto his back, and as he gets up to it, he holds out his hands and the heat is sucked out of anything. It's sucked out of Sam's body, any of the battery packs, anything like that from comm units. And then Dave releases it in a wave in front of him.
Cool. Overheat?
Overheat, yeah. 1 standard action, 15-foot cone-shaped, instantaneous. You get a reflex. Well, I'll do the thing.
Yeah.
So you know.
Is it a reflex save?
Yeah.
What's the DC of the reflex save?
It's
the DC of your spells?
And then it's a level 1 spell, so the DC is 15.
15. So I need to, and will it catch 3 of them?
Yeah, I reckon it'll catch these 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. So I'll do right to left. 15, 3, and 17. What's your DC?
15.
15. Yeah. So 2 saves and 1 fail. So roll your damage, and then I'll take half from those. Whatchamacallit ones. 14 points damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which even with the half save is enough to take them out. They've only got 6 hit points. Zath, you're up. So you notice you notice that they also like freeze solid as the temperature decreases rapidly, and then so it gets really hot. They both sort of like burst into flames and fall down, and you've still got one off to your right.
So
Left,
seeing
sorry.
this and smiling, I'm going to swing casually left in a lazy swing.
Cool. 19 will hit. Yeah.
Yep. And 9 damage on that.
9 damage. Yeah, which takes that creature out as well. I'll just remove them from the. Excellent. Yeah, and they fall down deaded.
Can Sam use resolve points to stabilize himself? So
Yes, he can. Yeah. So it'll just be the normal. One resolve point will stabilize you, so you don't carry on dying. How many resolve points have you got, Sam?
5.
5. Yeah. So knock that down to 4, and that will stabilize him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, refresh my memory on med packs. It says a med pack single all-in-one disposable medical device designed.
Correct. If you don't have a skill, it's +10. If you already have the skill, then your skill should be good enough to take it over.
Yeah.
Although you think that it should apply to the +10 should also apply to the skill if you have a medical.
Yeah, I think it should as well.
Because that's what you were saying last time.
So I will use one of these patches on Sam, and I'm going to use one on myself as well. Is it just
Dave wants to carry on because there's this cold, so he wants to.
Yeah. So roll the med pack. Roll your medicine first on. Think what's the DC for that?
It does not say. Sorry. Just a bonus. Disease. Touch medicine with 10 plus circumstances for the first aid. Long-term stability.
DC is 15.
15. Right. So I fail then. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So Dave, you move out of this area. What's Zath? What are you going to do?
Sam's is not conscious. He's still out.
He's still unconscious. Yeah.
I will pick him up in my spare hand.
Yeah.
And follow on.
Okay, so once you get out of this general area, you feel that the temperature is going back to normal. Zaf, you can then take 20 for your medicine roll, which means that it'll automatically go off then, which you then you can't take 20. You can take 10 though.
That's right.
Yeah. So roll. So you'll automatically get 10. What's your medicine skill?
My medicine is 3. So I still have to roll.
Yeah, you will.
Oh no! I've got the +10 on that as well, haven't I? So it'd be 21.
21. Okay then.
Yep.
Let me just. No, when you take 10, you don't roll a d20, but rather assume that you roll 10 on the dice.
Oh, I see. Well, it wouldn't work with me anyway. I'd rather not. I'd rather just roll it. So yeah, I'd
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does. It's just if somebody's got like +8.
Yes, it's just a case of taking the average and
Why? What number did you need to
15.
15.
So if you take 10 and then you have already another +10, that is
No.
another thing.
Oh,
Why do you get another +10?
Because
no, the +10's for the final thing, isn't it?
he's
That's
got
what you
plus.
gained from it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so you can wait time again, and then you can administer or you can take him back to the ship.
Means go through the cold again. So no, because I won't make it through the cold.
Okay. Then.
Well, when we're in this resting point, Dave wants to use a point of.
You can use resolve to get
to regain his stamina points. So I put him down to 4,
Oh,
and I'll put him back up to 5 stamina.
Yeah.
I just realised what you were saying about the +10. Sorry. Yeah, but are we doing the +10 because I'm trained in medicine?
You're trained in medicine, so you don't get the +10.
I don't exactly.
No.
Yeah. I should get Dave to do himself.
Okay, so what's the plan? Is it to wait a little bit longer and then try the rolls again?
I want to wait just a moment, and yes.
I was just trying to find out.
It doesn't actually heal you, does it? The med patch. It just
it stabilizes you, and he's already stabilized.
Yeah, so I don't need to actually do it in that case then.
No.
I've got nothing to bring him round. Oh, that's frustrating. I chose the wrong thing.
Do you have any? You don't have any way of actually bringing him.
No way to heal. No, I thought the med patch actually healed, but I should have read further.
No. So do you have any other way to actually heal with any form of technology?
I don't.
I don't. I mean, I don't even. I don't even have the medicine skill. I don't even know how it's done. I suppose it's via mystics.
Magic. Yeah, you can heal via magic.
Who healed me last time?
Nobody. You backed off and let Buddy.
Yeah, you took a step.
Right.
You did a tactical withdrawal.
That's right.
Metagaming without metagaming. Leave me behind.
Oh, that goes without saying.
Oh, well, I knew Dave was doing that anyway. Dave's gone, but leave me there and pick me up on the way back.
No, we need to take you in case there's a hole in the hull, and we can push you into it just to block the.
So you could Zath, you could probably carry him.
Oh, I've got no problem carrying him.
Yeah. You know, but you just won't be able to charge into combat and things like that unless you drop him.
He'll just drop me on the head.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you continue up through this corridor, eventually you actually come to the bridge, and it's actually situated behind the enormous crimson eye on the front of the ship. And so the whole bridge is actually bathed in this blood red glow. And the crew stations are also like fabricated from bone and steel, which apparently has almost like grown up from the floor to make these things. Battle damage is evident on the bridge, and there's a bit of an emergency force field in place. But the whole bridge is empty and utterly silent. It is truly a ghost ship.
Okay, I'm going to look around, make sure there is nothing hiding behind any consoles. So the force field's up. Is it? It's facing outwards towards the breaches, or what?
Yeah, it just means that you're not going to get sucked out.
Sucked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shucks. Okay. Dave, I think we found what you're looking for. If you want to do what you need to do, and then we can get out as soon as possible.
Can Dave make a perception check to see whether or not he can find where the Or is it sort of like a standard layout?
Yeah, you can see where the computers are, and that's not a problem at all. The question is, is the plan to try to find the location? Is that what you're going to do from the computers?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
before he goes in again, he wants to cast detect magic
Okay.
into the actual cockpit of the place.
Yeah, so as before, the whole lot actually radiates magic. It's this necrotic energy that you saw emanating from the ship. And looking back down the corridor, you can see that when you look at it on the magic via detect magic, you can also see that the corridors that you've just been through is actually full of this necrotic energy as it whirls round.
Okay, so very cautiously, sort of like looking around, making sure that there's nothing behind control panels. Dave wants to go over to the main ship's computer.
Yeah.
And he's going to take out his kit from his tool belt and almost like plug it into his comm unit that he has on the thing, and then plug it actually into their computer, because he has like a hacking.
Right, so you want to try to get the information out of the computer, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So do you have mysticism?
I have.
Okay, so you can choose, because of the nature of this corpse fleet, you can choose to either use computers or mysticism. It's completely up to you which one you roll. Once you've decided which one you're going to do, then that's it for the roll. So you can't roll mysticism, see it's low, and then say, I'll use computers instead.
No, Dave wants to trust in the technology, and he wants to use his computers.
Okay, so do you wish to take 10 or take 20?
How long does that take?
It's roughly the I think it's the same as take. It does. It just says other times the situation's more favourably, making success is more certain. So it's completely up to you. It doesn't sort of like say it takes this amount of.
I'll take 20 then.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is that it will take you longer.
Right.
But I'm not saying it's not taking 20 takes you 20 minutes.
Right. Okay. If it takes longer, I'll. But if my computer skill's 8, taking 20 will give me a total of 28, won't it?
Yeah. So as long as the DC is 28 or higher, then you will succeed.
28 or lower.
You must get the DC or higher.
Right. Okay.
So if the DC that you're aiming for is 28, then you need to get 28 or higher.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll take 20, because then that'll give me my maximum what I can actually.
Okay then. So you sort of like stand around. Zaf, sorry. Is there anything that you want to do during this time?
While he's doing that, I will be making sure Sam's secure and safe, and keeping a close eye on everything. Any door in here, I want to make sure.
Yeah, there's only this one entrance down. Yeah.
In which case, I'll be watching that ready.
Yeah, okay then. So after sort of like 10, 15 minutes or so, Dave, taking your time, making sure that you press all the right buttons in the right order, you actually get to the point, and you actually, the first thing that you manage to remove is the security system that's in place. And you manage to remove that, and then you can then access the computer. And do you wish to take another 20 on that?
No, I'll take 10 and roll. No, I'll take 20. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So about half an hour now. You've all sort of like been in this room, and after about half an hour, Dave, you actually managed to get the information from the computer. It's taken him quite a bit, Zaf. You know, I mean, you're pretty sure Buddy would have been able to do it a lot quicker. But about half an hour later, Dave manages to download the information that you need.
Well done, Dave. I had utter faith in you, but can you make it quicker next time?
No, you can't rush perfection. Can we? Is there any way to turn off that extra cold field? On the...
roll your computer skill.
$19.
You.
Or if not, can I bring up a map of the actual ship and see whether or not there's another place to dock?
Yeah, no, it's 19 is absolutely fine. It didn't take. Sorry, it's not computer I need. What dice roll did you? What's your engineering skill?
My engineering skill is 10.
10. Oh yeah, so that's fine. Yeah, it's an engineering roll that allows you to turn off the necrotic energy that's running through the ship, which actually heals the skeletons while they're here, but was more detrimental to you guys. So you managed to turn that off, which means that you could quite easily get back out, back through the corridors and back out to your ship. Once you get there, Sam can be put into the medical bay and started on the healing process. And Captain Irvin takes the data from you and says that you better head back to Absalon Station to actually figure out what's going on. And so once safely back into the ship, back into the Law Seeker, you head off back to Absalon Station, ready for the next adventure. And so that is where, guys, we finish it for tonight. So yeah, so well done. There, you could have turned off the necrotic energy throughout the ship, and that could have been turned off. That wasn't an issue. Apart from that, the skeletons were quite
very easy.
It says crits at got us.
It's when you get critted by 3 of them, mobbed by 3 of them with a crit in there, you're like, ah.
He critted you and he critted me. So
yeah. I think there was only 2 of them.
To give you an idea, I was down to 2 hit points.
Yeah, and I think the adventure works well because how many hit points did you take from the necrotic energy?
Would have been about 5?
We took 4 points.
Yeah.
From it.
So that's even though the skeletons they have a very low armor class and very low hit points, it's actually the necrotic energy that actually
seeps away a bit.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're listening, but it's actually mentioned in the when I mentioned what you could see.
Of course, on the outside of the ship, you mean? Or?
Yeah, I actually mentioned the necrotic energy going around it, and I think there's also an opportunity there. There's actually, because this is a pre-generated adventure, there's actually something that says, I said, what do you have any questions? One of the questions, what we might find on the endless Theridae, which was what I picked up when somebody said, is there a floor plan? And the second one is, what is that necrotic energy? And then that gives you the clue to actually do how to stop it. Yeah. Brilliant. So I will work out some experience points for you all as you head back to.
Did we all pass the test, by the way, at the beginning?
Yes, you did. Yeah, and I was with that. I was just wanted a different way, rather than just reading it to you. So I thought that went well. I like that. Yeah. So yeah. Anybody who'd like to give any notices or anything before we stop for the night?
No.
No, I won't, because I'm not streaming for a week because I've got children on holiday, which means we've got the house empty for a whole week.
Oh, cool. Very nice. So I will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock BST time. Well, I'll be playing some more Elder Scrolls Online. So do come along and watch that. We'll be back on Tuesday night with some Shadowrun. And also next Saturday, we hope Mr. Pickles is well again. So we'll be playing.
Won't be tied him if he's not.
We'll be playing some Mythras. So
I think we all might be getting emergency flights to wherever he is in the US of May to kick his door down and say, "You are playing."
So
There's nothing wrong with you.
Fibber.
brilliant. So I will host somebody after this, but just to finish off the stream, I'd like to say to each and every one of you, remember to be who you are and say what you think, because the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. Have fun, and I will catch you all later. And until then, consider yourself well and truly waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.